Not yet. Okay, we're almost.
Is that Oshara?
Now we are live from Elmira at 458 West Water Street. Where's Oshara? Here she comes. There she is.
There she is.
There.
Lift
All
it
right.
up, lift it up.
Lift it up. That's too high.
Well,
That's too high.
it's also too skinny. That's
Yeah,
not
it
a good
is.
thing.
Yeah. No, no, no.
All right. I'll
And
take
it's,
this away.
oh my God, and it's rounded. Okay. Soon as she gets whatever she needs. We used books last time. Hold on, we have to lift this. She's a lot taller than me. I got what we need.
Whoa! Here, we can use this. All right. Places, everyone, places.
All right, we're almost ready.
Is this where you say lights, camera, action?
I guess. Well, we didn't start it on Facebook yet. Are you ready?
Everything. Ready for anything. So am I sitting here? Or?
Yeah. As soon as I get it started, I'm going to move. I'm just going to get everything up and running.
Okay.
All
It's
right?
working. It's working.
It is working. So we're going to go live on Facebook.
Hello. And happy Easter. I've heard that it's Easter. Just found out yesterday.
We want to do this in our group, right?
Yeah.
Is that where we did it last time?
Yeah, on the Facebook
In
page.
the group. And we want to do it on Seth
Just put it
discussion.
yesterday. Or was it the day before I found out?
Next.
All right.
Okay, it's preparing live streaming. Yep.
Yep. We're on?
I don't know. No, not now. Okay.
Just wait till we can hire a Hollywood tour, a Hollywood camera crew.
Dismiss. Okay.
We on?
We are
Live as we'll ever be.
add a title.
Hi.
Add a title. Seth, where is the title?
Okay.
Oh, there it is down there. Seth Talk on Easter Sunday.
That's a good title, I think.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Welcome. All right.
Thank you for hanging in there with us, guys.
Yeah, you guys are wonderful.
Yeah.
So why is it not saying now?
2 weeks ago, we would have been absolutely panic-stricken, but now we know you don't care. You're not mad at us. We're
All right, so now it's switching over to Zoom. There's a lot of work to go in live.
Yeah, we appreciate Kate.
No.
Yes, because I should have.
We're all good. So we're on Facebook. There we are, Facebook Live. So I'm going to shrink this.
There it is.
Yep.
Is that my belly button showing?
Oh my God, I hope not.
Oh.
All right, so this is the computer that's recording.
Hey, hi everybody. I see Charlie.
So we want to.
Hi, Oshara. Hi, Kate. Hi, Ned. Hi, Mike. Hi, Gabriel.
Charlie.
Hello. Happy Easter.
Yay.
Happy Festivus.
Festivus. I remember that.
I'm so small next to you.
Well, you're gonna get the whole thing. So there's that's what you want. So it's your chair now.
Okay. All right. I'll sneak it over here.
Yep. And I'm gonna come over
And
here.
again, this is the famous view from behind Jane's writing area.
Careful.
I think I'm gonna move the cord. I mean, this is really comedy.
It really is. Okay, now let me
Hi, Gabriel.
start video.
Hey, Gabriel.
Now,
You're
can you
muted,
guys hear
Gabriel.
me?
You're muted. I don't know if that's you or.
It is.
Oh.
There you go.
All right. I have to stay muted. Can you guys hear me from Oshara's computer?
Yeah.
Great. I have to stay muted or we get that bad feedback.
All right, we're doing it. I'm impressed.
every time it works. Sometimes.
It's like, we're making noise. It's good. Okay.
What are you doing, darling?
I'm trying so hard.
Here.
Unplug. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Are you all right now?
I'm all right now.
Why do you want it on that side?
So I don't trip on it again.
Okay.
All right. Really? This is the 4th time we've done it, or the 3rd?
4.
And
It's been a whole month.
And don't we keep getting better?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. It seems new and fresh every time we try. It's like, oh, look, this is doing this. And
You also have a better sense of humor every time.
yeah, and
About
we're
I'm not as
very
scared,
sense of humor.
not as scared as I was the first
A
time.
little more relaxed
All
about,
right.
okay, everything's.
So I'm
Nobody's
gonna
mad at
on
us.
Facebook. I'm gonna do my thing from over here, but I guess everybody can see me.
Hi, Audrey.
Right.
Now all we can see is Oshara. What can you guys see?
I can't hear.
Oh, unmute. Is she muted? We hear you.
No.
But she can't hear me say, we hear you. All right, these are some of the things we're working out.
I'm just gonna say.
It's got to be at her end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unmute. Here.
Oh yeah, you're the administrator now. Baby.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
baby
Yeah.
girl.
Baby girl.
Isn't that cute?
I love her. She's baby girl. All right, so you have to.
Unmute everyone.
You are manage participants. You are the manager this time.
Oh no.
So unmute all.
I have no sound.
Yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna work on that.
That's good, like that.
There's muting Kate. Unmute Mike.
Kate, you can't do anything about her not getting sound. All you can do is control her sending sound. If she's not getting sound, then it's her end, not
Well,
yours.
All right. Good to know. I love it when it's not my fault.
But she needs to unmute something on her end. We're all learning together, all of us.
All right, so I see Charlie is muted and Mike. And we have to make Kate, so you guys can unmute yourselves so that Oshara doesn't have to watch everybody. Because I'm not on the manager's site this time. I'm gonna manage the Facebook from my other computer. So hopefully we get a good tour this time.
Yeah, we're gonna walk around with
I
this.
don't have.
Yeah, we're gonna try that. And we should do the tour earlier. Rather.
Yeah, we'll do the.
And then we can get rid of the one computer and we can be good.
Yeah, we can do introductions and a tour, and places clean, and there's the book.
Not me.
Okay,
Oh,
we have Kate,
100%.
Audrey.
hi. I turned my sound on. I figured it out.
Yeah, okay.
Fantastic.
So what did you have to change, Audrey?
I just had to turn my speaker on.
Oh, okay. I knew it was something simple like that, but I didn't
Yeah,
know what.
we're all learning together.
Ugh,
Good job.
Hi.
Hi. Where can I see people, Kate?
Oh, because I pinned you. What do you want to see?
Well, I see nobody.
Well,
There.
there's
Hello,
peeps, or do you
Hi.
want?
I want the
Oh,
full
okay.
screen. I don't need to see
So
me.
I pinned you because you're the one. You wanna
With all the
see
power?
of them.
I have all the
Yeah,
power.
you have all the power.
Watch out. I hope I don't abuse it again.
So, here you go.
Well, there's a whole chapter in mass events to counsel you on that.
When we do the tour,
Yes.
we're gonna pin you then.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So
Okay.
that's
We got a plan.
everybody. It's everybody. 3, 6, 7, 8 people, maybe more. I'm Kate. Really?
No, stop it.
You're Kate and I'm Kate. No, I'm Oshara. Here, I'll make a little sign, Oshara or something. We'll do that later. You know. So I got a Seth book right there. Okay, I want to make this really. And the 2 bottles, because it's a famous picture. Okay. It's fun. I like this. We're getting it together. We got it together? What time
What was
is it?
in those bottles, Oshara?
Air.
These bottles have air.
No, what was in them originally?
I think it was a funny, strange, homey tradition. And I remember as a child, my mother had bottles on her windowsills too.
I think
People
he's
just
asking
did that.
What were in these particular
Oh, these were
bottles.
water.
No, these bottles I bought because we made moon water for Ho'oponopono.
But it
That's
was water.
truly what they were.
But it was, I remember we got one of these bottles when we went to like a fancy Italian restaurant. It was
Yes.
just water. They held water.
I bought 2 bottles, and I thought it was such a good price. They sent me 2 dozen.
And that's the price. So we found these pretty bottles to kind of, you know, be where Jane had her bottles. And I think Jane's bottles were like just antique bottles that people would put old bottles on their windowsills.
Well, the reason I ask it because they're blue, and you don't see blue bottles very often.
Just at
They were wine bottles. So when you
no, they're not wine. It was water. They held water.
When you make the moon water, they held nothing. They held nothing.
Oh,
When
you got them empty.
I bought empty bottles to do moon water, and it said I had to use blue glass. So that I went searching the internet for blue glass, and that's what I found.
So they held nothing. They were
Nothing.
empty when
They've
she bought them.
always been
They
empty.
were fresh,
Pristine.
pure, and then they held water.
Yes.
And now they're ensconced, you know, in the footsteps of Jane's antique bottles that were there. 50,000.
Remember Seth talking about the objects having duration and time, and how that's an illusion, the idea of duration. And he didn't talk about bottles, but he talked about like a doll on a shelf or something like that.
I was thinking exactly about that when you said it. Yeah, that like something can have a vibrational frequency. Like if you see this one thing on a shelf, like a doll or something else, it does hold a frequency. And that's why putting those 2 bottles there was so important, just to almost pay homage to the original bottles.
Yeah.
In the group, we are studying the nature of personal reality. We read the session 613.
And Gabriel, you're talking about, for people who don't know, on Wednesday, there's a woman named Jill who has a group online studying nature of personal reality. And Kate and I have been on it a couple of times. We missed last week, but very good group, highly recommended. Go ahead, Gabriel, just thought I'd let other people know.
In that session, 613, is the example of the doll. And what Seth says is that the intensity with that we think things, the way we emotionally consider things are related with duration in time and in space, no?
Yeah,
And there is nothing. Yeah, there is nothing to do. Well, space and time are camouflage, and considering the intensity we feel things, probably something that was a trauma for somebody. You keep it in mind for years and years. And well, there is not in space, no? It's in another dimension that you retain the object. But it's in that session, 613, in the beginning of NOPR.
I'm glad you brought that up from the other group, and that's just exactly what we were talking about with the bottles, and we're talking about in the subject, in the beginning of NPR, Nature First Reality. More than a coincidence. Welcome back, Charlie. Let me see. So we're 3, 6, 7, 8 people. And how's it looking on Facebook, Sweetums?
Online, we have Judy Hall.
Judy Hall's here.
Marika Zago. She's trying to get on Zoom, but for now she's on Facebook.
Okay, so
Marika
everyone.
Zago and John Fluent.
So 4 people on Facebook watching us?
We need to be more exciting, though. He said this is lame.
This must be a really good friend.
I'm so sorry.
You're a good friend to say that, yes. We're just getting our land legs.
Well, that's what I said.
Running start
Yeah.
here.
So I'm trying to And I'm trying to help other people get on Zoom.
And everyone knows that 458 is
it's everywhere.
our new password will always be 458 because you know that number is the address, 458 West Water Street. So
I was going to ask about that. Thank you for clarifying it.
yes, 458 is the address, and so pop quiz, that's the password too.
And Bernard Jorgen Shadell, I probably murdered his name, but he is now watching with us.
On Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook.
Okay. This is fun. This
And
is
Michael
working.
Schultz. Yeah, how exciting is this?
Thank you for spending your Easter Sunday with us. And
I'm sorry, we did not get last week's on YouTube yet. So hopefully tomorrow I can get last week's up, and then maybe Tuesday I'll do this.
yeah. So we're learning.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go to St. Peter's, but I couldn't get a flight.
Wow. They were expecting, I'm sure they're disappointed.
Yeah, the Pope was just all over himself saying how sorry he was I couldn't make it.
It's like, Ned's not going to be here? What is the, and I picked out my best skirt.
He threatened to cancel it, but I said, no, you got to go on with it. There are too many
Other
people counting on you.
Yeah. Did you get the Pope picked out his best skirt? Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine? Now, Seth did confess to having been a minor pope several
300
centuries
and
ago.
something AD or
Yeah,
something.
I think that's what I recall too.
Not a good one. He was honest about his job of
Yeah,
well,
but they apparently didn't last long either.
yeah, he was. They kept murdering each other at the beginning. We are ready to begin. 15 minutes late. No, this was nice. This is like this nice. Let's get together. Let's settle in. Hey, you're here. This is cool. And it's all live. And we're just all so easygoing. I mean, we have become professionals. Every single one of you. We're just like, we're pro. Yeah, we're cash. We can do this thing.
Well, I really like the casualness.
Yeah.
If you ran this like a webinar, I probably wouldn't be here. I probably would have. I had checked in once or twice and gone away.
Pull out your notebooks.
Yeah, really. Turn your hymnals to page 405.
Ew.
Ew. Not us. No.
I'm
sure glad I didn't mean that.
Everybody
Okay,
looks
lighting.
frozen. No, everyone's moving around.
Well, I'm
here.
asking
We got a
the
couple
Facebook people to be the frozen down. Because on my, I'm not.
And then when we're sure we're all up to speed here, we'll do our 20-second intros, and I can show you around the house. And hopefully this time it'll work. The tour, where we just do everything possibly wrong, and you just see like one wall for the whole tour. We're learning. And then we can just have this wonderful free-for-all. She's laughing.
I'm just laughing.
Somebody
about the first one we did, the first tour, and they looked at the blank wall back here.
for the whole time. We're running around all over the
You
house.
guys are really amazing that you came back.
Oh my God. We had the wrong computer. For those of you who don't know, we had the wrong computer active, and we ran out, did the whole tour, and come back, and it was the other computer sitting on the table was the one.
Speaking of the tour, I've had the thought several times that what you ought to do is to record the tour rather than doing it from scratch every time.
Oh yeah. Just have one master copy of the tour. That's great.
Yeah, and because I mean,
even edit it or something.
How many times do you want to watch the tour?
But I love improv, and it's always going to be comedy improv to walk around here with a computer. I mean,
well, it's too bad that the first episode had the sound turned off, because that would have been because it was recorded, and it would have been the perfect one to have used.
That was the
tour.
sound was turned off on the first one. And
yeah, we could see it.
We could see us walking around, but you couldn't hear us. Okay.
Yeah, because you weren't even in the same room.
But then the recording was different.
It's just the back of the wall. You guys were able in yourself, so we didn't know what the computer was doing.
Yeah, so two computers doing two different things, and none of them were what we had. Anyway, we lived the moment. So it's like you guys saw one thing, and a different thing was being recorded. So what's online on Facebook?
Oh, that's right.
is a whole different thing than what you saw. So you were privy to one thing, and
Yes, it recorded completely different.
the great thing is once we get everything absolutely perfect technologically, everyone will say we miss the old days when everything was all.
Now,
Bad old age.
Bergen is BJ from Berlin.
Is he?
Remember BJ from?
Yes, he's
on
not here.
Facebook.
He's on Facebook.
He's on
Hi, BJ from Berlin. Oh, this is
Yes.
great. More people are jumping on.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's late at night, early in the morning, or something like that. And we just honor you. Just hug the dickens out of you for joining us here. And we got to make this good. Everybody be interesting, okay? It's all of us together,
Where
baby.
did I put my interesting hat? I can't.
Yeah, we're fine. Hold on, this is my interesting shirt. Yes.
Pretend I'm wearing it.
I was so glad to find out from Kate the stained shirts that I have. You can't see the stain. So I'm wearing a stained shirt right now that's one of my favorites because I like the color. Great color. You don't know it's stained. I shouldn't have done that. Remember what I said about interesting? Yeah, I flunked. Are we ready to roll, Kate? Should we start doing this group effort?
What do you want to do? Oh, the intros?
I guess.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Like, do you want me to? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Anybody out there want to start the intros, and then we'll just all jump all over each other saying, me next, me next?
Let's see. Ada's here on Facebook. Hi, Ada. And hi, Judy. You're back.
Judy!
She can't get on Zoom, so I'll have to
Okay.
work privately with Judy.
I'm so, yes, someone
Another
needs to
time.
work with
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy. She's just a few miles away from us.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. I'll start. I'm Kate. That's about it. I'm Kate. And I are here at the Seth house. It's so awesome. Oh, wait. We've got 20 seconds. I've been doing Seth work for about 3 years, 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's changed my life. And I love this stuff. And I don't know. That's about it. I love having all you guys in our living room. Like, this is so beautiful. Thank you for showing up. On Easter, no less. Pat is on. Hi. I'm going to say hi to all the Facebook people.
That's good to let us know they're there and they're
Yeah.
watching. And if they say something that they want us to repeat or something, to chime in on the conversation. And I'm Oshara. And I'm 60 years old. I've been reading Seth since I was 41. I love Seth. We're in Elmira, New York. For those of you know, we are in the living room Jane and Rob lived in for 15 years and where they channeled most of the Seth information. Seth spent a lot of time here. And Seth, come on over. Use Facebook, use Zoom. Join us, Seth. We always think that Seth is somehow part of this project, and Jane and Rob, and that they approve and are happy to be getting their information out there in a joyful way, and mopping the floors and cleaning the windows and everything that goes into trying to make this place what could turn into a clubhouse for Sethies all over the world. And I guess I went over 20 seconds, but hey, shoot me. You can't. But anyway, that's me, Kate and Oshara, or 501c3 creators for preserving this building and loving the Seth material. Who's next? Speak to us. Don't bore us. Be interesting.
Well, I'll go next. I'm next, Ned. I read Seth Speaks. It will be 46 years in December.
Yeah.
And the first decade after that was like a marathon of magic. Just one miracle after another. That was incredible. And then it sort of tapered off after that a bit, and went into a kind of a more smooth rhythm. But to say it changed my life is like kissing your sister's picture sex.
Okay, that's enough from Ned. Although he was interesting.
In a way.
In a way.
Little creepy.
Love you, Ned. Careful about not that
too.
your business. You could get in trouble there. So, who's next?
Well, you wanted it interesting.
You did it. You accomplished the assignment. Yes.
Just try to follow directions.
Let's see. Who do we call on?
I'm Gabe from Argentina, and I knew Seth in 1987, many years ago. And well, I was studying the material till that date, and I am. It's for me. Well, Seth. It's my teacher in a way, and really, and I am trying to apply it every day. I try to make the practices that Seth push us to do, side time and dream work, and trying to be lucid in my dreams, and also belief work. I'm trying every day to do something, at least between 5 or 10 minutes. And the changes I saw in my life and the change in perspective and vision in my life were wonderful. And I am seeing that, for example, every situation, this kind of mass event that we are creating, it's a challenge to check where is my practice, no? Where is my, now, which kind of vision I have, in which way I am seeing myself deep down in an emotional way that I am creating my own reality. And I think that in situations like these ones, Setians have a very good challenge to check ourselves, because OLC in these moments, I am seeing that is so strong with all the ideas and the inoculations that they have. They have not a vaccine, but people through media are inoculating us with strong ideas. And really, well, I am seeing a real challenge for growing. And I am seeing also that the virus, what is creating is, for example, considering the atmosphere and the climate change, are showing humanity, human race, many things. No, for example, the disturbances in the way we apply energy, considering the crazy idea of progress, of an infinite progress that were destroying the planet. And are moments that for me are so interesting. And in this elementary system, I feel that this a moment that if we take in a positive way the good aspects, considering spiritual growth, can be a point for turning us, our inner states, to another place, no? Really, like Seth says, from OLC to the idea of stepping out of the OLC and reaching our higher selves. No?
Excellent. Yeah. It's like Seth's about transformation and self fulfillment.
Yeah.
Value fulfillment is what Seth was talking about so often.
Yeah.
And that's individually and globally, as you're saying. It's like, okay, the mass event situation of the whole world, our collective reality, but the individual too, and noting our progress and being in our fullest awareness as we go about our day. So thank you you kind of outlined a whole lot of that, the Seth process, individually and collectively. So yeah, thank you. Thank you.
No, I just had a thought while you were talking about that, of in terms of the individual consciousness blending together to create our mass consciousness. And the picture I got in my mind was different colors of paint in droplets, all dropping into the same vat, so to speak, you know, on the same surface. And that at first, you can tell the colors apart, but after you get a few million of them, it's just there, you know.
Yeah.
And the individual droplets go away till you look really close.
And one thing about that, Kate's an artist for one thing, but the beauty of like just I often picture that is about how that a drop of color and how it veins out, like little veins coming out of it. And what if we imagine each one of the drop is the entity or the oversoul?
Oh, yeah.
And each one of those veins that come out of it is an individual self. Like I'm one of those things exploring. Like one line of color is exploring over here, another's over here. We're all from the same droplet, but we're exploring completely different areas, but we're all still attached to the droplet, the entity, the oversoul. And it's spreading out to explore and grow and learn. Anyway, but yeah, that's a thought that drops into my consciousness sometimes. Yeah.
There was a physicist, I think it was Alfred North Whitehead, who used the phrase garden of forking paths to describe that sort of spreading out.
Yeah.
And then each branch is like a tree, and each branch has twigs, and each twig has, you know, leaves and so on and so forth. And just go, but it's infinite.
That's another one I have too. Like I was a huge gardener at one time, you know, many times in my life I go crazy with gardening. And petunia, just look at a petunia branch or any plant you want. It comes out and then it divides. And then it divides again and again. And that kind of a picture we can have for our probabilities. You know, you come to a point, you make a choice. You come to another point, you make another choice. So these are branches off the same plant. But the plant is you, but you may not be aware of every branch of choice you are. But you're aware of the one branch you are, but you're so many parts of you that branched out. Go ahead.
Okay, so look at this. You have a tree that has a trunk and branches and twigs and so forth. Point to the exact part that is the tree. There is no particular. Every part is as much the tree as any other part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing goes for consciousness, really.
Yeah.
Every personality, every fragment of a personality is just as much the whole as any other part.
Yeah, and it's all the wholeness of the whole tree, but that I'm responsible for this branch. And I'm going to make a fantastic branch out of this and have this pristine twigs and flowers or whatever I have on my branch. But all the branches on the tree are vital to the life and expression of the tree. So, and those other branches are like parallel selves, reincarnational selves, counterparts, whatever, you know, there's so many terms Seth uses.
Yeah.
But that, you know, grow where you're planted. Here we are. And just manifesting the best we that we can in this environment that we're finding ourselves in. Maybe we should have other, you want to say some more about that, or maybe we should have 3 more people check in.
Let me read an introduction.
Okay, somebody introduce themselves on Facebook?
He can't talk. No, it's Mike Blackstone. So he said, I can only watch and listen this time. Learned about Seth around 2002, read almost all the books, and of course, I changed my life. I love that, Mike. Thank you.
So that's Mike in the bottom. Big smile, glasses,
big smile,
white
blue
shirt.
shirt.
Nice photo. Handsome man.
And then on Facebook, we have Nick's Eyeball King, and he said he's from Florida, and he's been a 20-year Sethi. And he says, are you all Sethamaniacs? And I said, well, yes. And Joanne just joined us. So Nick said, this is cool. I did my first Zoom today with my Buddhist group. Well, join us over here.
This is great.
In the Facebook feed, go up a little higher. I listed the Zoom meeting number with the password, and join us live.
That's great. Oh, he Zoomed once this morning for his Buddhist group. We're going to be his second Zoom if he so desires.
If he wants
or he
to.
can just watch
But
this.
He's on Facebook right now. Great.
Hi. Okay. So let's check in with a couple other locals and tell us more about some of the rest of our people that are joining us. Christopher, do you want to say anything like hi or anything?
Hello. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
I kind of like the serial tour that you're doing here. I thought maybe, you know, it's going to be all done. You know, what are we going to do today? We're just going to talk. You know, I'm glad the tour's not done yet.
No,
It never will be.
I think you should do the tour every time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we're never going to get all of it, apparently.
With more mistakes each time.
Well, nobody's going to say the same thing in 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
And we're a spontaneous group. In the moment, be spontaneous.
Yes.
Say what we say.
Right.
Enjoy.
The point of power.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll do the tour too in a little bit. So thank you, Christopher. Alan, anything else you want to throw in?
No, I'm glad to be here. I really, this is for all of us such a strange time, and so this is I look forward to this. I keep checking up on you guys, and I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
It would be lonely if y'all didn't join us.
Yeah.
It would. It would.
Would indeed.
And I'm learning a lot from you guys too. You know, there's, as you know, there's a huge amount of material, and I just realized, as much as I'm into it, you guys know a lot, and you're a real resource of information about Seth. So, thank you for that too.
You're a resource too, and we want to hear more from you too. So thank you for bringing your energy and your good heart here. Really.
Thank you.
So two more on the screen. Audrey and Charlie, any of you guys want to chime in?
Yeah, hi, I'm Audrey, still living in Rhode Island, although my heart's in New York. I read Seth, I started with Seth Speaks in the mid-70s. The cover just drew me in, and been reading Seth ever since.
You mean you liked the old cover of him in purple with the head back and the...
Yes, yes. I read Gene Dixon's A Gift of Prophecy, which put me in that section, and the cover just spoke out to me. The rest is history.
Okay. So you did that in 20 seconds. Good job. None of us did.
I'm good.
You're good.
Glad to be here.
Super. Glad you're here.
Have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Charlie, if there's anything you want to say, unmute your mic and go for it. Whoop, there he is.
Okay. Hi, thank you for doing this. I have company, and so I'm going to be in and out, and so I'm sorry about that. I would really like to be here, but I can't be in two places at one time, and so I'll be in and out. As much as I love that you're doing this, I love, and I won't always have company, so I should, like, you know, spend some time with my brother. Okay. Learned about Seth when I was young. I think I remember, like, the Calming of Seth book and the Seth material back in those days. I'm thinking like 75, 76. I got a job cleaning up at a place where where psychologists worked. They were doing transactional analysis. The chief was a Unitarian Universalist minister. And I'm in like a TA group or whatever, and getting a ride home from him. And he's talking about Seth. Who's Seth? I get a book and I read and yada, yada, yada. I was into Seth very heavily for years, to the extent that I read everything I get my hands on back in those days. I was corresponding with Yale, trying to get more like, I wanted to find about the magical approach. Now, mind you, we're talking about like at this point, probably, I'm going to guess the late 80s. I forget. I don't know. It's like, oh yeah, you can come here and look at the stuff, and it's going to be this much if you want us to like microfilm, copy and la la la, whatever. So the stuff has been with me since I was probably 17 or 18, and I'm 62 now. Got away from it for years. Have been more into it in more recent years. I'm a seeker. I've always been a seeker, and I still am. Trying to work my way up to being a speaker. Okay, trying to be funny. What?
Okay.
I don't know that the.
Whoop.
You're frozen, Charlie.
You're having an out-of-body experience.
Yeah.
This is the paralysis thing. Sleep paralysis hit him. Okay, when you come back, we want a full report. Charlie?
Yeah, he's frozen good.
Oh.
Well, he's got company, so.
Yeah, we understand. Yeah.
What?
Talking to people. I keep.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, that was longer than 20 seconds, wasn't it? I got to wrap this up.
Perfect.
Doing it. You're so awesome. Thank you. I'm done.
Bless you, Charlie. Good
Thank
stuff.
you, Ashab. Bless you too.
And bless all of you for checking in and telling your Seth confessional here. It's so good. We share so much, how this touched us, how long it's been with us, reading this, and we're coming together to share this. It's just magic.
And I'm the newbie.
And you're the newbie.
I am the newbie.
3.5 years.
That's it.
Boy, she has read everything every day. She's amazing. Fast read, fast study, and now throwing every day of our lives into Seth and everything. We do it every day of our life.
I'm still reading Mass Events. I'm about halfway through.
Yeah.
So
that's an amazing
and
one.
And then I just hop around from place to place. And what really got me started was Ron Card and his quotes. I would read
on Facebook. There's a man named Ron Card. He has 2 Facebook pages, his own under his name, and Seth Force. And he is every day he is kicking out Seth quotes and commentary. He is a force of nature.
He really helped me with his commentary and the quotes, and then I would look up the book, and thank God we have so many books, and that really helped me. And then whenever I had questions, of course, I got Oshara right with me, and she just explains everything and helps me to understand it. And I just think the whole thing is amazing. You're such a Seth teacher now. After she's 100% immersed herself in it, like I said, for 3.5 years, and she's and of course the miracles jump-started me into this, totally. The Seth material was brought to me before I did A Course in Miracles. I was very Catholic, and I couldn't get it. I couldn't even. She's recovered now, folks. She's fully recovered. Recovering Catholic. Recovered. Yeah. Anyway, how about if we do the tour now? Yeah. Well, one thing I want to get the tour over with, so that we can just have conversation. And it's not over with. It's like that's exciting too. Everything.
The tour will never be over.
I know. It'll always be a new tour. It's like. It's like a new reality every time. Better every time, and we see something more surprises. But is there anybody on Facebook who wanted to be introduced? No. And about how many other people are there on Facebook? They are popping in now. It's about 8. Right now, there's only one person watching with us, and that's BJ. He's still with us. So, from Berlin. Judy Hall left, or? I don't see her on anymore. So someone else has popped on. So people are just, Gabriel. I see you. So you're doing both. Gabriel's over there too. It's both. Yeah, okay. So people are just jumping on and off. On and off. So that's fine too. And we already you introduced a couple of people. The ones that made themselves known to me, I said what they said. Okay. So and we'll continue to shout out to you. And just so everybody knows, Facebook feed is one way. You can only hear what's going on the live broadcast. So a lot of the Facebook people are sitting in their houses
trying to talk to us.
Sorry.
I know. So you have to, if you want to be heard, you have to get on Zoom. And, you know, what I
or you can open a window and yell really loud.
Well,
Yes,
what I'm
well,
going to do is I will set up a Zoom just for trial purposes. And anyone who wants to get on, test it out, I'll sit on it for whatever, half an hour or so.
Work it all out.
And help people get on, you know, to where I can even give them my cell phone number if we need to actually talk, so that I can help them.
Yeah, we should put our phone numbers on there so that if people are having problems, you can talk them through it. Next time, I guess. Yeah,
Right, because usually we try not to use the bandwidth, so we actually turn off our Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we turn off the phones, everything, so that it's it's a good steady
It's a good
connection
signal.
right now.
It is, and actually the router is downstairs in the apartment below us.
Yeah, so we're getting good reception today. Yeah. So should I start the tour? Do you want to hold the machine?
All right. So what we're gonna do? So for you Facebook people, nobody's gonna be watching the store, so you're on your own. All right. I'm leaving. What do we want to let them see? We'll let them see their front door.
Well, they don't get to see this?
Yes.
Oh, explain that to them.
So what I want everybody to do is pin. So the one right here, I want everybody to pin this one so you can see it.
And we're gonna walk around with this computer.
And we're gonna also, how do I pin this?
You don't have to mute them.
But I can't read it.
I want to hear from them if they have something to say too, or a question.
I want to pin.
What's behind the closet door?
Yeah, we're gonna leave. Yeah, you guys can
Yeah, the top right of your box is unpinned video.
Yeah, why is that like that? I want to pin it. Pin video. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I want everybody to pin the video of me and Oshara. And if you want to talk, unmute yourselves. We're not going to mute anybody because we want to be able to hear you so that, you know, you can ask questions as we're going along.
Yeah, if you see a ghost, let us know.
Yeah. Now, we do have to carry the box with this is what's recording everything. So we have to carry the box with us.
Okay, you carry the thing.
And we're going to unplug this and
where do you want to start? Luck. Here we go. Let's go to I have this idea. I want to take us outside just a little.
Outside where?
Just
do we have wait, we have masks if we go outside. Do we want to put them on?
We should talk about no, we don't need to do it.
We're not going that far out.
You can see me or no?
No, I can see me. There's Oshara.
There you are.
There she is.
Okay, so I'm going to open this door and we're going to start outside and walk in.
All right,
now,
I got to move this thing.
Now, outside in the hall, it's filthy dirty and brown and icky. And we just kind of want to give you a feel for how it feels.
For how icky it is.
How icky it is. We were totally renovated inside Jane and Rob's apartment. But outside is kind of that icky feeling that we want to give you a sense of. Here we go.
All right, so the first thing we're going to show you is right here. Can you see the number 5 written in magic marker?
And faded, the door.
Right, crazy.
And
then, so you look at it, can you see?
Yeah, that's like a hole and a patch job.
Yeah, and it's just like pooped brown.
Yeah, the light is on. It is brown.
It is. This is the light is on.
This is towards the north, heading north, and it's brown. I don't want to touch it. And it's really filthy.
So stop touching it.
So
open the door.
Open the door. So it's like all these original fixtures, though. This is the doorknob, Jane. Everything that Jane and Rob touched and Seth went through. And just kind of going out the back side. So
Yeah,
that's
this goes to the third floor.
Be very careful. If you're ever here and you get to use this, there is a nail coming out of here. So if you walk up and grab this banister, you could get cut. There's like 2 screws or nails coming
This is crazy, but you see all this wood here? This we took out of the art studio, and we did that over a year ago. It's still sitting here.
Yeah, we thought he was going to store it somewhere, but it's just been leaving here. And this was like not original from when they lived there. But anyway, here, they know when they wanted to walk out the back door.
This is the back.
We're going the back way.
Are we going downstairs?
Just not too far, I guess. But just to say, there's this back stairs that comes up to the second floor.
Right. See, I don't know if they can see.
That's good.
Is that okay?
And this yellow paint is gunky and dirty, but you know what?
We're sure it's original.
We're
Yeah.
sure it's original.
Sure.
Actually, John Faziani, who was 10 years old when he lived here, and his father was Jane and Rob's landlord, said he remembers painting some of this yellow. So this is the yellow paint that really was from then, 50 years ago. It just hasn't been painted. We don't want to paint over it for that reason, but we do want to clean it as best we can. There's something very sentimental about all the paint that really was here. Watch your step, seriously.
Hey, if we start losing signal, guys, yell so that we can turn around because we're outside now.
Paint chips. I love paint chips.
Yes.
I mean, this is how it is. This.
Are you guys losing us?
So this is falling off.
No, it's actually better.
Okay, good.
So this is, you know, we haven't planned this. This is spontaneous. We're finding stuff along the way. This is falling off the house. This is big chunks of paint and cardboard falling off the house. The place is falling apart.
Somebody will get those.
I'm going to take them upstairs. I don't know what that is.
Looks like where they used to put up a flag to
A flag
secure
in
the
stairs?
no, to
But look
secure
at-
the wire.
Look at some of the just the graceful architecture and the woodwork.
And what you're looking at there is the carriage house.
That's the backyard.
Yeah.
We're in the backyard. We're being so spontaneous here. And so that's a.
So are you under Rob's studio right now?
No.
We will be in a second now that
Yeah.
you're
Oh,
asking.
okay.
This is a 6-car garage. It used to be the carriage house where they had horses and buggies in the late 1800s. That's how old this is. They made that a 4-bedroom apartment above it, which is 2 stories above it. So that you're looking at 3 stories. Bottom is the garages. Next is the main part of the carriage house, and then 2 bedrooms above. So that can be so restored and beautified. It looks like it's going to blow over, but it's really beautiful. So here is the Olympics chip.
Okay.
Then you come back in.
Now.
That
All right,
you are looking at the
so-
underside of Rob's studio.
Can you
see that?
see the ceiling? So we are
Yes.
okay. So now we're under Rob's studio.
Okay.
I know I'm facing the light. Let's go
So,
this way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So straight
How's
up.
that?
But again, with this, you can see how that's falling apart too. You know, you can just walk outside, and then I've picked up boards and these are windows too. I think a little higher, and you get.
That way.
So we are right under the studio. Why don't
Okay.
we head back up? I think they threw that off.
Okay.
And so, but do one complete. Like, there's the neighbors. There's another beautiful. That's the neighbor, and it's a beautiful red. I'm sorry, I can't see with the sun.
So the red. That was the
Yeah.
red brick house.
No, that's
Well,
the,
that's the carriage house. But
that's the. There's the. There's the. Those are neighbors. That
this is
what
what
this
we have to
neighborhood is
live
like.
with.
Yeah, they're pretty. So anyway, that is drug addicts.
Mhm,
Not
mhm.
kidding.
This is why we don't live here.
So. We'll talk about that. Now we're inside. Coming back in.
Want to go down the other way?
Well, I think let's go.
Okay, so this is Jane and Rob's apartment, and this is what, when you come in, let me
Okay.
see. Go ahead, Oshara.
Let's sit down for a second and discuss what just happened, actually. They need to know. I'm gonna put it right here. I'm gonna sit right here a second. Now that was a little unnerving, but we caught it on tape.
Yeah, boy, did we.
There's some seriously scary people who live in that back carriage house. And there's drug use, there's craziness. They've yelled things like that at us before because we're Seth readers. That's it.
Right, not because we're lesbians, but because we're Seth readers.
And did you all hear what she was yelling?
She calls you crazy or something?
Witchy.
Witchy. Burn in hell. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been really scary people. They yell things at us about that stuff. So-
And it's been worse than that.
Yeah, so
Far worse.
she came out and started yelling at us, how she yelled before. And what I should do is tell the landlord again so that he can have a talk with them again about not being crazy to us, just have some manners. So anyway, I just want to sit down and kind of relax after that strange
Yeah.
moment.
You
Well,
don't
what about the Elmira police? That might be a good way to go. Or maybe not.
He said right now it works to just have the owner of the building say knock it off until but
there's certain things that if they cross the line a certain way, I would call this.
Right,
like
right.
yelling things at us like that, which is just crazy.
Doesn't really meet the bar for the police.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Well, you know, there is another alternative. If I may quote Seth, when others appear to be observing you, it is only you observing yourself from the standpoint of your own projections. Try that one on for size.
That's nice, but
You're not buying it?
well,
We're living in their reality. We don't like their reality.
Oh, they're living in yours too, kiddo.
well, you know, like the last time I was here, a couple of times ago, just the drug use, like right in front of us, like very watching them do drug things out in public, right where you can see them, and it's really like this is scary shit. So I think
Well, that's got to be a matter for the police, no?
yeah, but I sure don't want to get on their bad side. So anyway, duly noted, we've witnessed that stuff. And so when they're screaming stuff, they're also doing it under the influence of, we think it's meth. So,
Right, right.
yeah, we'll just do that.
We just don't.
Best thing to do is what we did, walk away and then let the landlord know what happened again. So this was an unexpected, spontaneous event here at the Seth house. The things we do for Seth.
I know.
We're
Yes.
putting up with some of these things in order to make this a building that is going to be all about love and light and safety and sharing Seth's books and message and stuff like that. Right now, there are people uncomfortable with Seth saying it's all devil stuff. And I try to explain, like, no, this is some of the best life-affirming, positive message. And most people in one, you know, little interaction or conversation get it and have a completely different idea about Seth. Drugs do damage to people, and there's several people in this building who have problems along those lines, but we should probably not dwell on that too terribly much. But
we're very live.
Huh?
We're very live.
We're very live.
And we'd like to stay that way.
Live from the Seth house and alive. So, okay, we covered that.
Yeah.
One thing I was going to say when we were out there is that there's the old carriage house building that's yellow back there that's going to be so beautiful and it's restored. And you were pointing, last thing we were pointing to was off to the side, the red carriage house. Mm-hmm. They're working on fixing that now. And that's so exciting to see the neighbors working so hard to fix that red barn in the back and the red brick house right next door. So they're like totally with us in camaraderie about we're fixing two buildings here.
So when we call it the carriage house, the people that owned or built the red house next door, they were the carriage builders in Elmira in the 1800s. And I think the people that lived in this house were relatives. I think they all kind of were related.
It was like a family compound between the two houses. They had one shared driveway. And it was so cute. The red barn next door has a double-seater outhouse inside it. And you know, the guy who's doing the repairs was showing me this, like, isn't it beautiful? He's picking up a whole huge board. It's a double-seater outhouse top. He's like, look at this. This has been here 100 years and it's still functional. It was like, and just some of the beautiful nuances of these two buildings and what it can become and the people that can come here and visit and enjoy this. So it's wonderful stuff. Should we try to venture outward to get to the front yard this time?
Why don't we do inside?
Okay.
And we'll calm down.
We're fine. We're big girls here.
We're big girls. Yeah. I just don't like to run into people here because we just don't ever know what we're going to run into.
Yeah.
You saw we opened the doors. We just kind of kicked them open. Nothing. They just don't lock here. We
Now,
are,
were those voices coming from the carriage house? Was
Yes.
that where they were?
Yeah, there's a
And-
father, yeah.
they were on the fire.
And your landlord there is the landlord for that house as well.
Oh, yes, yeah. These two buildings are on the same property
Yep.
and owned by the same property.
Okay.
So,
Well, he may not be real motivated to, yank their chain either. You know what I'm saying?
He's really good about it. And they're usually pretty quiet for a couple of weeks after he yells at them.
and he's a Marine, and you
Yeah.
can tell when the Marine in him comes out, you just go like, oh,
Yeah.
yes, sir.
And-
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
And he's really good about addressing any issue we bring up.
Yeah, fixing stuff too. Why don't we do just a quickie just to show them the stairs? No.
All right.
Okay, continuing the tour.
Kate agrees.
Try to contain your enthusiasm, Kate.
Kate does whatever Oshara wants.
Well,
right?
I do whatever you want.
Somebody said to me, you have a real, actually the landlord, he goes, you need to learn how to tell her no.
That was because I wanted to bring all these sticks from the front yard.
We'll show you the sticks.
These are beautiful sticks that fell out of the tree, and I did. I brought them all up. They're from the tree.
He said, tell her no.
Anyway, there's a big pile of sticks there. And now we go.
Okay, we're back inside.
I heard someone on the stairs.
Yeah,
Can
me
you
too.
believe that?
Okay, we're back inside.
We'll
All right,
just do
so
this.
we're just gonna do this.
Do it.
It's safe in here. God, are we wussy girls or what?
There's drug dealing.
Yeah, we just picked.
When we drove in, we saw these two huge burly guys coming out that we don't know, and they were looking inebriated, and I'm like, oh, they bought drugs from one of them. It's not just painting the place or buying the place. There's it's wrong that there should be such a negative element here. This is Seth's house. It shouldn't be drug deal.
I can hear them. They're going upstairs. When we did live here, the police used to sit in the parking lot right outside the bay windows.
And there have been a
Yeah.
few busts and things here over the 3 years that we've been around.
Yeah.
I never would have moved to a place like this. Never would have lived in a place like this, except it's the Seth house and what it can become.
And I've lived in this area for 36, 37 years, and I've always said I would never live in the city of Elmira. Well, here I am.
Well, yeah, because she lived in like Southport,
Yeah.
where the heart of it has really declined a little bit.
All right, let's stop talking about that.
I
Elmira is
think
getting
it's
better and better.
Yes, and part of it's going to be the transformation of the
Yeah.
Seth house is going to shine so much light on all of Elmira. I think there's somebody right on the side.
I know. Just let go. Just don't even go out there.
Okay.
This is the living room.
Let's start here.
I'm going to stand right where.
Well, let's see that first. Okay, as you're walking in, sorry, we'll get you dizzy. That's the front door and the refrigerator,
because it doesn't fit in the kitchen.
and then the front closet.
Right, now,
But then, I just wanted to give them the feeling that they walk in the front door, and that's what you see when you walk in the front door. So yeah, go back to holding it, and we'll just keep making this up. Here to the left, we have a table of fun Seth books and stuff. We have a couch. We have a table.
and we think that Jane and Rob actually had their couch on that wall a lot of the time.
Yeah, because they lived here 15 years, so they redecorated a bunch of times, of course.
This is the spot where Jane probably sat her rocking chair most of the time.
Yes, according to the famous pictures we have. And sometimes she had a strange room divider here. And that's what you'll see behind her when she's sitting in her rockers, the room divider that had books on it and stuff. And other chairs. Rob would kind of, in the pictures, some of the pictures we have, Rob would sit there and take notes. Jane would sit here on the rocker and become Seth. The beautiful bay windows, as soon as you walk in, they're so breathtaking, the light and everything. Here's where we sit when we're talking to you. And again, here's that view out this window with the bottles, the famous bottles and the famous view of the house behind.
Yep, there it is. Oh, it's good that I can see this one.
Yeah.
So we are now facing west. So we're straight on is Walnut Street.
Walnut Street, and this is a window that we saved. It took a lot of work to save this, but it's all the original glass. This is airplane wire that's used for airplanes.
And it's holding the window
It's
together.
holding the window together, and this is glued. And anyway, all three of these windows are absolutely the original, what Seth looked out of, Jane and Rob looked out.
Now looking this way, you're looking at the Walnut Street Bridge, and that is Water Street that the cars are going down. They're traveling east. And O'Shara's washing her hands because we're supposed to wash our hands a lot.
And I touched what's out there.
Luckily, I was holding the computer.
Yeah, nice clean computer.
So this is the kitchen. It's so tiny. There is no room in here for a refrigerator.
Well, we might get a teeny refrigerator. So that's why the refrigerator is out in the living room. And this is, one of these glasses might be original. The other two are plastic. That's plastic, glass. Anyway, oh, maybe these two are glass and this one's plastic. But you can see there's the Chemung River right out.
Oh yeah, the Chemung River.
It's
Oh, you
behaving
can
itself.
see it. If I don't know, can you see what's on the screen?
I can see.
Can you guys see the river?
And they're doing construction. The bridge is closed right now for repairs or something. So that's the Walnut Street Bridge. And yeah. But anyway, that's the view Jane would have outside of her. Yeah, you see. That's the view they had outside their windows. And like I said, Jane would sit in that chair, and that's where she did her writing. I'm sorry.
Okay. You want to do there?
Let's do
The room.
this guy.
So this is one of two closets in the apartment.
And what we have in this closet is we got all
The
these books
closet
from
is
China.
bigger than their kitchen.
Oh, the closet's beautiful and huge. But we got these wonderful books from China and Taiwan. Tian Mai, who's the publisher of Seth Books, and for Dr. Su in Taiwan, all of these books she gave us for free. She donated to the Seth House for free. Can you see those all? So it's really great to have that international feeling for Seth, Chinese and Taiwanese language of all these Seth books. It's so exciting. So here's a Dr. Su book, Walking in Children's Shoes. 48 prescriptions for enhancing positive family relationships, all based on Seth's philosophy. He's really just a darling man. You've probably heard of him. He's got a Facebook page and he does a lot of speaking. Here's the artwork that Deb Tejada made that we're using as part of our photo. I mean, you know, it's on our stationery and website. These are two magazines in German. This was the light fixture in the bedroom. So this is where when Jane dreamed, light bulb here, there was probably something more elaborate. We took it down so it wouldn't get any more broken. And that was what Jane and Rob looked at when they slept and dreamed in their bedroom, that light fixture. And this was a gift of don't want to go too long into this, but it was the first 27 pages, and someone gifted this to us. It's
the first
sessions.
27 Ouija board sessions.
Yes. So that's some of the stuff in this little museum area of the closet.
So I'm going to turn you around slow.
She's better at the slower
We're coming out of the closet.
All right. All right. Here now is this mirror. It's really exciting. This is probably predates Rob by many, many years. But this was, you know, the pictures of this mirror and the interview that they did with this guy here in this living room. This was behind him. And it's really amazing that Jane and Rob looked in this mirror. And you can too. Yeah. And they did psychic experiments here. And it's just an interesting thing about mirrors and looking at them. And remember, Jane looked in here. Seth looked in here. Just gonna look at this.
And this is the mirror on the door to the famous bathroom.
The bathroom. And you get, oh, by the way, there's a big bookcase here that there's a photo of, and there's a picture of Jane standing in the bookcase. Well, here we go with the bathroom. What did I hold it, Kate? And you showed
No,
that
no,
the bathroom.
no.
Okay.
Turn the light up. Click the light. There you go.
Original, antique, 1880s.
Yeah.
It has some of the original plumbing in
Yeah.
the back too. And this flooring is
Real-
original too
real
from the 1880s. Marble. And
The wall
this
is subway tile.
subway tiles, also original 1800s.
These bar grabs, they're glass.
Glass and metal, also original from the 1800s. And this mirror is so old. You know, when we took it off, we were painting, but it like had every color the house has ever been on the back. This bathroom has been. There's like all these colors: green, peach, yellow, all the colors the bathroom was. So this mirror is really old. And again, Jane and Rob looked in this. This is stuff that just makes me pause every day. Now,
So here's some of the colors that the place was.
yeah, there's some. Oh, it was blue. It was peach. It was green in there. It was.
So see how yucky that was? The whole place was yucky like that.
Oh yeah.
You know, we couldn't get in there.
So it's a nice piece of
Yeah.
how it really felt the whole time.
There's
Yeah.
some of the peach color up there.
Yeah, it used to be peach.
Yeah.
So we did so much work on this. We had to take down this ceiling and part of the ceiling in there. Everything's been painted. The walls were so chunky and yucky and mossy, moldy feelings. Not moss mold. This mirror was from like the 1400s.
No. That one's
1940s.
about the 40s. 40s,
Yeah,
50s.
1940s somewhere. And so, and these windows, again, this is all original. This is kind of funny. This piece of marble here broke off of the shower. This piece of marble broke off the shower, and they put it here for something, a screen. It's like jerry rigging a screen. Anyway, it's just, but anyway, this old, beautiful. And the old radiators, these are fantastic heaters. I mean, the place, the whole house is so warm. And this is the marble shower, and it has 7 spigots inside. And
this is from the 1888.
there's so many different fixtures here, though. This is the only one that works, is the shower massage. But these, it was like such an expensive situation. These are like 1,800 spigots, and there were 7 of them. And they write about what a comfort this was for Jane's body to have these kinds of spigots all blowing at her at once. Marble.
Yep, and the plumber we used said we can get them working again. So that's something on our hope list.
To get the shower spigots working again. These old things. Let's show you this one. I don't know why this is. As soon as I saw this, just something like this. Broom holder. And it's just, I remember seeing this in my grandfather's place, something just like that. But oh my God, they had this too. And the old wood and the old paint chipping everywhere, and the old plumbing and stuff. So every little old feature, it's a flashback to when the house was new in the 1800s, but also a flashback to Jane and Rob lived here. And Seth lived here. And it's so here. It's physically where they lived, what they did. This is the bedroom. And this is the little cute Pegasus unicorn.
Did not belong to Jane.
No, this is just a fun friend. And this is the bed in the bedroom. And as Seth advised, have the head facing, pointing north. So that is north. We're following Seth's instructions. Jane didn't want to have it going this way because she liked looking out the window. So they probably usually had the bed like that. And that was the way that she would look out. But we got it according to Seth's instructions. Now, I'll let you go in first. This is Rob's art studio.
Okay, yeah. So you saw, see the fire escape right there? That's where they were yelling to us. So these
Before we get too far away from it, it looked to me like the bathroom was bigger than the kitchen. Is that just an illusion?
By far.
It is?
So originally in 1888, Rob's and Jane's living room was the master bedroom.
For the whole house.
The
when the house was
kitchen
finished.
was a closet. And then, of course, the bathroom was their bathroom. We assumed their bedroom was either a nursery or maybe a dressing room. And then where we're standing now was a sleeping porch.
Yeah, beautiful. And this porch you saw underneath, it's like
Right.
all rotting underneath and chipping, and this whole room is kind of supported by two metal beams.
Yeah.
But it's very solid.
It,
You never feel
it
like
is.
you're
We
gonna
jump
fall.
up and down. It's okay.
And look, these are the old what's it called Yankee gutters.
Yankee
Those were
gutters,
outdoor
yeah.
gutters.
There.
Those were Yankee. Yeah, you can see it. Oops! Don't want to lose that. But those are the original gutters that used to be outside the house 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they just enclosed them to make this one. And look at the whole ceiling. It was really beautiful. We had to tear down the moldy ceiling that was up there before. And it was leaking horribly. It was leaking buckets right here. And that's all been repaired.
Yeah. So these windows that you're seeing here used to go all the way around to where the yellow starts. So when we walk downstairs from out in the hallway, that yellow is the other side of the outside staircase.
It's the same paint, yeah.
Yeah.
But so yeah, this was wraparound window. You were in a fishbowl. And
Right.
the
So
view
wherever the
of
white was.
greenery, but the view of the green. Now there's just this one window. But the view must have been wonderful, and the lighting.
For painting,
for an
or
artist.
I've painted in this room. It's amazing. This has the best energy of anywhere in the house.
And it's not complete, you know. We kind of there's more to do, but we want to do a little more research to try to get it before we do the next finishing of this room. Right? It's just wonderful just to sit here.
Right. So that paneling that I showed you in the hallway was on these yellow walls. We tore that down.
It was really not good to look at paneling. But then taking this down, this is the original. This is what Rob and Jane were here. They said that paneling probably was put up like long after Jane and Rob left, so that's not original. So we took that down. We got down to the basics. You know, things like this old doorknob. There's glass doorknobs, there's brass doorknobs, and you know, like these were here when they were here. It's exciting just to sit quietly in every room and just have time. And this is what, again, we want to give Seth readers a chance to, if they want to come to see this place, they can be here and they can meditate and they can read and they can just say, I was there. And it feels wonderful. So we're trying to work hard to prepare, make it a little safer, prepare to have people come out. So we want to buy the house and we want to make some of the apartments Airbnb so you folks can stay. And just it's time to fix the place and honor the greatest miracle on earth happened in this apartment building. Seth spoke, you know? We've got to make this, take another look at what yeah. Yeah, let's go.
All right, so I'm walking through the bedroom. Now the bedroom's got, Oshar was talking about the glass doorknobs, and I know Regina's not here, but she'll watch them. Those are the glass doorknobs. And the other side, both glass. But see the little indent? We saved that. We did not let our man plaster over it.
No, I did. I painted and puttied this room. But this is like, yeah, it's like, who knows, that might have been invented by Jane herself, who knows. All right.
And back through the bathroom and into the living room again.
No.
Whatever you want to do.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll take that.
All right, here we are. We're going to sit here on the couch together. What'd you think of that, gang?
I'm going to go on Facebook.
Very cool.
Every time something new.
She's doing stuff over there. That's what Jane and Rob said, where they went over papers of what Seth dictated the night before. Had company sit and have coffee That's a pretty remarkable place just right there. Those huge windows. So yeah, you're getting the tour. I think this is one of our best tours because nothing, technically, it worked. All right. You on there, Kate? Okay. Yeah, it's very bright. All right. Here's that.
Oh, Ray was on, Dion. Nice tour, thanks.
Goody.
Sorry, Mira. We weren't monitoring Facebook while we were doing the walkthrough, so I'm sorry that you were hearing other people's voices. And Michael Schultz said, I agree with Ned. You are experiencing your own fears from others' projections.
And the thing is, though, it doesn't get us down. I mean, I know how can we take seriously someone saying we're going to burn in hell? We don't. We're witnessing other people having their beliefs, but then it's like, I'm not really feeling, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it is kind of like, okay, creating my own reality. I'm not going to get in their face and have an argument when they're
I think what you'll find is the key is not looking at what they do, but why they do what they do. And the why is what you have in common, not what they do about it.
I think part of my creating my reality is I don't want to get involved in other people's reality that I don't choose to. I'm not going to move towards people whose behavior is a negativity that I just don't want to be a part of. So we can walk away from that. There are other people in the building we talk to, we have wonderful interactions with, we talk with them. People who are just have a different frequency, and that's the wonderful thing. We're a collective reality with all kinds of different people. Choose wisely who you want to interact with. So we just got to stay away from that and choose to gravitate towards the more friendly, loving energies, like you guys here. That's where we'd rather spend our time. I'm glad you got to see that, though, so you know, kind of like part of just some of the climate that some people who have closed minds about Seth or this work. If they have fears, you know, there's been Christians that on the local Facebook pages for Elmira, Envision Elmira, or other Elmira Facebook pages, when I've put things out there about the Seth House, at first, we did have a lot of attacking from people saying, oh, the house is haunted. Oh, that woman was creepy. Oh, it's a ghost. Oh, it's the devil. And I just responded to every single negative comment, friendly, lovingly, upbeat, and just saying, no, this is really great information, and or Jane was a really nice person. And now we don't get any of that. So I post our newsletter every week on several of the local Elmira Facebook pages. We don't get any of that, and any negativity at all anymore, because I just kept answering every kind of mudslinging or negative response, just friendly and lovingly, and then I would get like 20 likes for saying something positive about the Seth House in response to somebody saying something. If I show up in a reality where I'm getting negativity and I give back positivity, Earth has really changed about how some people might have been afraid of Seth here in this house here. It's people want the building fixed. People want not be afraid. I really think people want to be afraid. We give them every reason not to be afraid.
Somebody has got a TV on or something. You're hearing background noise. You guys, if you could mute yourself, and I want to shout out to Tammy Allen. She's on Facebook. She's a 20-year Sethian. Welcome aboard.
Welcome.
Yeah, about that people that yell and the idea about that you are protected and blessed just by your inner self and by the universe. And I was thinking, no, that if somebody is not so spontaneous, acting with another people, probably in some way they see other people and project some amount of power that is our own, no? And we project ourselves to them, and then we create a problem, no? The feeling that we are already protected completely, and I think that this is the key, because nobody can harm you at all if we do not accept it, no? Of course. And but the idea is what I am feeling when I have some, well, I have not enemies, but they are not. But the point is not to project any power that is mine in another one. No? And the feeling of protection and blessings that it's my own, it's my heritage in a way. No? I feel that that is important in connecting with people that is mad or have problems. And most of the people in this world have many problems. No?
Yeah.
As we spoke, as you comment when we spoke about the branches and probable and reincarnational selves, that the diversity that is in the world is so much. It's amazing, no? And the variety that have this wonderful world. And that's the idea, you know, about protection and not to project any aspect of our power outside of ourselves. No, it's what I am trying to remember myself, connecting with somebody that I have some problem, no, with business, or at least that I could think that I would have. No.
I got a compliment.
And you're
you, Gabriel. You've got really good instincts in terms of how you approach these things. You have really good internal guidance, as it were. It leads you in the right direction to ask the right kinds of questions and wait patiently till you get a real answer. In fact, I've noticed that about several people around here. And that's just something that I don't see very often. Not as often as I'd like to, anyway. The key to all of this, though, in terms of people who appear to be very different than we are, they're afraid. And different people express their fear different ways, sometimes anger, sometimes withdrawal, but it's all fear. And the fear is almost always based on beliefs that predict that there is a threat that probably isn't even true. They don't get that. They accept the belief that they're in danger. So your neighbors, you know, they're afraid of you. They're afraid in general, and they're blaming it on you. And what they're trying to do is to make you afraid of them, and apparently it's working. I mean, you did turn around, come back, and close the door.
And there's like, I would say bully, the bully personality.
Yeah, there's a good example.
I mean, yelling something mean from a safe distance.
Sure.
Hero, you know, just from across the way on a balcony to yell mean, tough stuff doesn't mean you're a brave hero.
And they're trusting their perception of you that you're not going to come over there and beat the hell out of them.
Right, that we're just going to walk away and be
right.
quiet. And they get a big, I got to yell at them, and we just walk away quietly. And some people like that energy rush. There's an addiction to the energy you can create in yourself by, you know, having extremes of emotion.
Well, if you're afraid and you give yourself the illusion of being safe, you feel that. Problem is, if you fake it, it comes right back.
Or some people trying to have that false sense of even being tough and heroic and strong because they yell something mean and people walk away. That's a lie. You're lying to yourself. You're not strong or heroic.
The problem is not the lie. The problem is believing your own lies.
What?
You know, believing your own lies is the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and what do you do when people are acting threatening? You say, I think fear is part of it. I think they're, I keep coming back to it's an addiction to your own chemicals. Like if you make drama, well, there's people out there who like to make drama because they're addicted to the chemicals in their body and the reactions they can get out of people. And it feeds them somehow in a very, very negative way. And I think if you're more Seth-based, you examine your thoughts and your emotions and you try to make them clear. When you're lost in that loop of just trying to be mean or deceptive or a drama queen, you're really hurting yourself. You're really lying to yourself. You're creating a show that, maybe you get a chemical rush, but you're not serving yourself or anyone else. And this is something you got to outgrow. It's like very childish. You got to outgrow that stuff to become an individual that's not addicted to your chemicals or addicted to making a scene or trying to make people feel less than you. I mean, it's a bullshit drama loop that they're stuck in that hopefully.
But it's all an attempt to deal with fear. It's all an attempt, a failed attempt, but an attempt.
Well, I think fear's one of them. I think there's a lot of emotions, whatever insecurities or whatever, but I think the bully factor, that when someone feels like they can have power over others, it's the bully factor. And growing up and seeking some kind of maturity, you don't want to be a bully anymore. And that's the thing about Seth often says, is like you can't hurt another without hurting yourself. And once you grow spiritually, you don't want to hurt another living thing. You don't want to play drama games with another living thing because that's a part of you. You want to be in harmony and help heal. Help to be a healer for this. You don't want to hurt, you want to help.
And the truth is, there's no way to win doing that. Hurting other people. There's no way to win. It's a dead short to ground.
Yeah.
And you can lie to yourself about it, but you can't. It's like, proclaiming gravity is a fiction. Good luck with that one.
And this self-deception, some of those games are just so self-deceptive when you act like anything other than what your true soul essence is.
The most frightened person on the schoolyard is the schoolyard bully.
Yeah, true.
No exceptions.
I don't know. I mean, I think bullies in politics and bullies anywhere.
Oh, when I said schoolyard bully, I meant in the general sense, which would include politics and marriages and everything else.
I'm doing that too, like bullies in any age or career move. I don't know. I think that there's an addiction to being a bully. I think that there's a rush that comes from hurting others, and it's sick. And I think the part of life is overcoming whatever your limitations are. And if trying to identify with that kind of persona is something that people are play acting, you need to outgrow that as far as your spiritual growth to get back to the real soul of who you are. There's a severe disconnect from your soul. If you are hurting others deliberately, you have a severe disconnect from your soul and your connection with the universe. That's the wound.
You can make that even stronger. You cannot do that and be connected. There's no way that a person who is connected to their inner self can do any of that stuff. They simply cannot do it.
Yeah, you're severely disconnected if you have those behaviors. Because if you are connected with soul and spirit and source or whatever you want to call it, you're not. It's not possible to have those kinds of behaviors once you're in touch with your spirit,
That's
your
right.
soul, your oversoul.
So when you see someone doing that, you know right away they're disconnected. You don't know the details, but you know the fact of it.
Yeah.
So Ray Dion said on Facebook, Jane and Rob put up with a lot of inconvenient partying in that building.
Yes.
Seth would suggest they enjoy the natural exuberance. Now, I agree with that. And when Jane and Rob lived here, the neighbors, they may have had parties or some loud music playing, but everyone here was good neighbors and they were friends. The owners lived in that carriage house that we looked at. That's where the owners of the building lived. They had their children back there. So this was a lovely, very well-to-do neighborhood. It is not quite that way today.
Yeah.
So we are cautious, we are careful, and I will continue to avoid what doesn't feel safe to me.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid to call the police, certainly not afraid to call the landlord. I've done it before and I'll do it again.
Yeah, we will.
But you know, our safety is first. You know, we leave our home, which nobody comes to, and we feel very safe. We come here to this place, even during the silly pandemic. We again have our little masks.
Doesn't she look cute? Oh, we meant to thank, these were a gift from Tian Mai in China. She sent us a box of, from China, she sent us a box of 100 of these masks, and the plastic gloves.
Yeah.
And it was just like a Sethi outpouring of love from her. And also, you know, this thing started in China and she's sending this to us. Tian Mei is such a beautiful woman. She's the publisher of those books we showed you there. And she was here late last year, and we just have such a kinship with her.
And if she's gonna watch this, she's not on now, but if she's gonna watch it a little bit later, thank you, Tian. And we wanted to make sure that you saw we have them, we're using them, and yes, they're keeping us safe. Now,
and yes, we know mass events, we don't need to believe in germs or anything, but because these were a gift, it's different. Now we go like, oh, Tian gave us these. And you know, that sort of thing. So, and we only use it to walk out in the hall.
And there's another person on, Ying Chia Wang.
Oh, hi.
She said, I found Dr. Seuss 6 years ago on YouTube. I am originally from Taiwan, married an Australian since 2007. She started a Seth group in Melbourne in 2016. We have a group of amazing mothers learning together. We use Seth concepts to teach children. Children are our future. We are very blessed. Oh, thank you.
That's the most
so
beautiful
much.
input.
Yes.
Thank you so much. A Taiwanese woman in Australia who's a Sethi, and she recognized those books for my heart. Oh, thank you.
I sure wish we could multiply that by about 1 million or 2.
Oh, she just put a heart on there for everyone. Thank you.
We love you. We love you, Seth's sister. We love you.
Yeah. Yes, teach the children. If the children could grow up with the Seth concepts of they are good and powerful, and they create their, children already know they create their own reality, but we convince them they don't, you know? So let's stop that. Let children just be children and grow up remembering that they make their creation.
I think that's the most important thing, Kate. Don't talk them out of it.
Exactly.
You don't have to talk them into it. Just don't talk them out of it.
Yes. Oh, she says, love you back.
I love this. This is so working. The Facebook and this too. Oh gosh, I love this.
It is. What a beautiful Easter.
Yes, this is Easter. We're having a beautiful Easter together. It's nice celebrating Easter with you.
Yeah.
Springtime holiday.
Springtime on Earth, all of it.
Are there any? Oh, Kate might be finding another one.
No.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for now. I'm scrolling up through. I don't think I missed anybody.
You shouted out all the names as they came up.
I think I did. So yeah. I mean, and we
love this.
We understand.
I love that we're doing this though. That I mean, in Australia, it is got to be 5:30 in the morning in Australia.
I think she said she had just woke up.
Oh my gosh, to do this.
Yeah.
Pretty coherent for just waking up.
and we had someone from Germany, BJ, and all parts of America and Brazil, Argentina. So it is amazing how this international, all over the place conversation can happen about Seth, and how all of you got to see the Seth house, but that we're talking about these philosophies and how meaningful this is. And this is the way we need, it is our responsibility. We need to help spread this information. I mean, you know, everybody has their own to-do list of what they want to do with their lives, but we know how much this touched us. And just to share this with another person, say, hey, I like this book, have a look. I mean, that's how I found Seth. In college, a friend of mine said, you've got to read this book. And I did. And it healed me. It made everything different. So it's about, and every single one of us, unless the book fell off the shelf in a bookstore, someone said, hey, I'm reading this, and it's interesting. You ought to take a look. It's talking about this. I mean, 50 years ago, this stuff was on the bestseller list, so that's how people found it. It was on the bestseller list. And now, as in then, we have to say to each other, hey, I found a group. Hey, I found this book. Hey, would you be interested in this? And the more we talk about it with newbies or people who don't know, and the more we make it not scary, like, I had to talk to all these people on Facebook on the Elmira sites and say, no, it's not the devil. And have humor and have friendliness. One time I walked around, I was carrying winter snow, foot deep. One of the gutters fell off the front of the house and was laying there. So I'm like, I'm going to take the gutter and put it over where it'll be safe. The gutter, it was the original gutter. It was green, it was rusty. So I'm like, I don't want it to be broken in the path of the sidewalk. So I'm carrying this gutter. I don't have gloves on and it's snowing. And as I'm walking around, there's somebody in this parking lot over here. And we had been in the local paper, the Star Gazette, did a full page article about the Seth House and what we're doing. Front page, 5 pages. And it was for Halloween week. Go figure. So then I'm carrying this gutter and somebody in the parking lot just sees me, maybe recognizes me from the photos they did of us. It says, well, looks like that ghost friend of yours isn't helping you out much. And he looked angry. I don't remember exactly what he says, like that ghost friend of yours doesn't seem to be helping you out much. And he wasn't smiling or laughing like it was a joke. And then I'm like, well, I guess he got me this far, so I'm doing okay. Or something. I did something humorous. I'll remember later what the exact words were, but it was like a little bit of tough negativity and like a joke, like, hey, I'm doing my best. I guess he got me this far, And he laughed, and it diffused everything. And I continued to walk, and I got up the porch, and I ran in the house real quick. But I kind of turned around and did a wave, and he waved back. And there's one person not afraid of Seth or the Seth House.
And that's kind of what Gabriel was saying earlier.
Yeah.
When we're approached with people like that we don't show strength or weaknesses, that we're just normal to people.
And friendly.
But then there's other people like we can't. We have to be safe.
Yeah. And Seth keeps saying, trusting our intuition in the moment. Mm-hmm. I didn't come into a pristine world with pristine people, and we're having mass events, we're sharing, and we're all growing and everything. So it's like everyth's trust our intuition. If suddenly you don't feel like crossing the street, good, just stand there, wait for an unseen car to pass, whatever. But we just always have to be intuitive about what we do with our days, how we interact or choose not to gently interact with other people. And these are all important choices about soul maturity. And every lesson we're learning here about how to deal with situations, we are going to take with us in all the galaxies or dimensions that we find ourselves in. Remember, folks, we never stop. We just keep growing, and we grow into being able to manifest in other dimensions. So some of the skills we're learning here about sussing out different people or trying to bring something beautiful to a situation, we take these skills everywhere we go. How blessed we are to be in this dimension where we learn so much. Yeah.
The basic rule that I see you applying is don't meet fear with fear.
Mm-hmm. Have a good sense of humor. Basically.
Not real complicated.
Yeah, be friendly, have a good sense of humor, and walk away quickly.
Safety first.
Safety first. Yeah.
Calmly.
So on Facebook,
Walk, do not run.
Asking about the articles. So the articles were published the week of Halloween, so October 31-ish.
I think it was like October 27th on a Sunday before.
Okay, the Sunday before. And then we were also published in the New York Times on Halloween
Day. Yes.
And that was in 2019. And both of those articles you can still find online. the New York Times one was what, 3 or 4
Well,
pages?
and I want to say neither one of those publications told us it was about a Halloween thing.
Yeah,
we
they
were
tried to
contacted.
yeah.
They contacted us months before and started the interview. I had no idea what goes into creating an article, but months before they contacted us, interviewing on the phone. Then they came in person a few times.
Sent photographers.
Sent photographers.
I mean,
They came to our Seth groups too.
I mean,
Really?
the Star Gazette was 5 pages long. It was an enormous article.
And for the
Are you talking about the Times?
And the New York Times, we were on the front page of the style section of the Thursday. The Thursday New York Times, the style section. There's a photo of these windows and something. But anyway, if you want to find those articles, actually go to our website, and on one of the pull downs, it says articles.
Yeah.
And both those articles are there, and you can click into the articles. I will say I would have written something completely different, but they were going for Halloween.
They were.
And we didn't know that when we were talking to them.
And they didn't interview us only. They interviewed many, many people.
Well, and I think they cut and paste things off live. I know, like Wikipedia, they pulled a paragraph and copied it or whatever. But we put a lot of energy into talking to them, giving them information, all of which never appeared in the article. It was, and fortunately with the Star Gazette, they printed it online before they printed it in person. And I was writing to the author of the article. She got, God bless her, she was a sweet young lady, but she got a lot of actual factual things wrong, like dates and number of books. And so I was able to help correct
before it came out.
Before it came out in
Before
print.
it went to print. Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
so it was online first, then it went to print, but we got to correct a lot of like, I was kind of like, were you listening to anything?
Right. So it was in our 3 local papers. It was in the Binghamton paper, it was in the Ithaca Journal, it was in the Elmira Star Gazette.
So that's 3 papers, and Elmira, Binghamton's about 45 minutes east, Ithaca's 40 minutes north.
Mm-hmm.
And so on the same day, all 3 of them hit with the Seth House front page, and I got a picture of Kate standing in front of one of the news racks, holding up the papers, and we got about a dozen copies of it.
And the Star Gazette had a picture that they put in there that I had never seen before.
A picture of Jane,
Jane,
oh, yeah?
The cat.
With Willie.
Reading Seth.
Willie, cool.
So
there's a photo of Willie.
It must have been an old one.
And so all of that is on the website, and they did 2 videos of us. The Star Gazette did videos.
Oh yeah, they're online too.
And those are there too. Not all of the links work to the videos. Only one of the links worked to the video. Long story. But if you see it, it's in there. And it gave us wonderful exposure. And
I got to say something right now. Are you aware of archive.org?
No.
They have attempted to record the entire World Wide Web forever. You type, and they have something they call the Wayback Machine. You type in a URL, and they will show you a map of all the times that they have copied it. Copied the content. So these links that are dead you're talking about, you go in there and type them into the Wayback Machine, and you just might find them all.
Okay.
Well,
it's archive.org.
Okay.
Really cool.
So again, if you read those articles, take it with a grain of salt that they're not really Seth fans. But the main thing is it did get Seth and the Seth House out there, and we did get more people aware of what Seth was.
Well,
and they can do their own research.
Because of that, we were invited to the holiday home tour event.
That was so nice.
Which was huge.
This is a big event. They've had it for 35 years here in Elmira, where the old Victorian houses, the people who owned them, around the first week in December. For Christmas tour, I don't know why there's like a lot of beautiful old houses in this neighborhood. They opened their doors and a couple hundred people tour all these houses just from Elmira. And 5 days before the event, someone we knew them and said we should contact and they let us in the tour 5 days before. And we had about 150 people come through the Seth House, and it was because of that article. Everyone was aware of the Seth House, that article. And so when we said, oh yes, we saw the article, And then we're going to have a meeting tomorrow. Let me see if we can sneak you guys in. And and it was like 150 local Elmirans got to see this place for the first time and see, we're not spooky. Well,
Right.
yeah, it's dirty out there, but we're not scary. It's just dirty. It just needs to be cleaned.
So they had this wonderful booklet printed up that they gave to everybody that bought tickets. But that day, everybody that walked in got our flyer because we didn't make the booklet. So everybody got a paper, and we had earlier hours.
Yeah, we made the flyers. They said all you got to do is make a flyer, make 200 copies of it, and we'll give it out when people show up so that they can know you're on the tour. So all those flyers went out. All these people have information.
We probably had 150, 200 people walk through the door.
Yeah. And good people who knew what was going on. So we were meeting new friends and new people who knew them, or new people who, I lived right across the street. I knew somebody who was into Seth. So that's the thing that's going on out here, is meeting people who knew them, or who went to their classes, or saw them around town. And it's fascinating to get these stories. And that's what we're doing, is that building community, finding people who know. One guy on Facebook was the nephew of Mrs. Cunningham or Callahan, who lived in apartment 3 that was part of the early stuff. And he contacted us, and he said, and we wrote him back, and we got to actually meet him in real life someday, but he's the nephew, and he'd been here. He knew his aunt, the apartment. So when we restore that apartment, we'll have him in and say, what color was this? And he knew of them. So just finding people.
Oh yeah, we had people came in that knew Leonard.
That lived next door, Leonard. Yeah.
So they knew Leonard. He had just passed away a couple of years ago, so we never got to meet him.
Now this is more like Seth trivia, but Mary Dillman, who's the major researcher for Seth and stuff, she produced this. She found this in some of Jane's old papers, a little book of Leonard. And what Jane did was, when the neighbor, an apartment, he lived in a couple different apartments too, but he had to have heart surgery. And so she made him, she didn't just buy him a get well card. She took something like this and made a whole book of We Love You, Get Well. Let me see if I find the first page right now. Introduction, this unique, evocative little book of poetry and paintings was created by Jane Roberts for her friend and neighbor, Leonard Yods. And when he was in hospital after having triple bypass surgery. And anyway, and Leonard was mentioned many times in the books too. Like, so she paints this on a spiral for him. More stuff. Just her outpouring of love for her friend as he's getting well in the hospital.
Now, Mary Dillman donated these to the Seth House. I do believe they are still available for purchase.
Yes, let's put a big plug in for Mary on her website.
I don't know it.
If you do Mary Dillman, you'll find her.
Is she still a curator of the Yale collection?
Yes.
She's not the curator. She's not. She's there every day, and the people at the library collection ask her questions about everything, and she has all the answers, and she's researching all the time. So Mary Dillman is the Seth Google, and so she put her own money out to produce this. And it was page after page of how much, Get Well Leonard stuff. Look, I'm still turning the pages. And this is for Jane's, look at that beautiful, Jane's style of just loving and creating and letting people know she cares. Look at this. She gave this to him. Love you, Leonard, get well. So all the work that was put into producing this is Jane's art and poetry. And this says, this sketch was discovered by Deb Tejada, and Deb helped us with our website too. On the back of one of the paintings in this book, shortly before going to press, Deb oversaw all the aspects of the book's productions, and before she pointed it out, the drawings seemed not to exist. So they found lots of little miracles along the way too. So this is just part of the flavor of Jane. And this is part of the things that people need to know about who don't understand who Jane and Rob were and who Seth is. And again, we just got to get the word out. All of us. They're great people with great information, and it's changed our lives. This feels great.
It does feel great. And I have to shout out to another Facebook friend, Sven Oha.
Sven! Sven! Sven, we love you! He sent us a Christmas Christmas card.
He did.
He's in California, and Dr. Sven.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and he's so blonde and beautiful. He's really beautiful. Like, Sven. Sorry. Thank you, Sven.
He's probably blushing right now.
What did he say?
Nothing yet.
All right. This is fun, just sharing
It
stuff
is
with
fun.
each other
Yeah.
and how to live our lives consciously and wonderfully.
You know, and there's been people that have been here and they've brought us books that they have written, and that have included Jane, that have included Seth.
Seth inspired, we
Seth
say.
inspired
People who were
works, yes.
Sethies who wrote their own books about life and
Yeah.
childbirth and
yeah.
out-of-body stuff.
And we're collecting everything, and we are keeping it safe, and it's wonderful.
Well, let me show you something. We have been wanting to put the word out about donating again. It's like, this is the worst time on earth to ask for donations.
It is.
But one thing, we just got a whole bunch of stuff back from the printer. Now we have official letterhead
Oh, yeah.
and envelope head. We have the best printer in the world. When we were calling around for quotes for getting things printed like that, he sent an email or left a message or whatever. When I called him, he's like, are you at the Seth house? It's like our printer read Seth.
Yes.
Oh.
And he loved the Seth house, and he grew up here, and he's about our age, and he knew all about Seth and read the books, and he's like, you're the Seth house? You're the, and it's like, I think he slashed his rates or something because he wanted us as clients. He just came over to, well, Kate and I are living at her shop that is closed. And he came by, we talked for 3 hours with the printer, who's a Seth, 2 hours?
At least.
It was like 2.5, 3, or so. Cosmic all the way. So this is like, we're making friends who are Sethies, and he's our printer. But why am I bringing this up? When people donate, we will send them gifts.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't mention that.
Okay.
So somebody, who was it? It was Ray. Where is he?
Ray Dion?
Yes, Ray Dion. He said, thanks for the paint chips and so much. The letter from that address with a big smiley face was super exciting. So yeah, people are happy. We love sharing this stuff.
And so, just for the record, if people donate, we have nice stationery that was printed by a Sethi.
Yep.
Well, he was a lot of things. He wasn't just Seth. He read Seth, but he explored every kind of spiritual philosophy, and he's wonderful to talk with. He printed this booklet. We're so proud of this booklet. This is by law, a 501c3 is supposed to have some kind of it could be a 1-page annual report or surmising the day. We ended up doing an 8-page booklet, and the Seth House progress report, and it's just full of all the stories, our journey. Here's a picture. Look at that. Jane and Rob on their wedding day. Have you seen that one?
Oh, God. Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So we got the story of it, how I thank you. Here's the mission. Here's the plans, the vision, what we've done. Here's a list of all the donors from the first
2 years.
Yeah, 2018, 2019. And then more stuff. So when somebody donates, we send them this, and we send them a reproduction of the postcard that's 100 years old. This is the Seth House in 1916 or 14, and you'll see. And we have a description we put on the back. Here's our famous, I love this, please restore me, and the picture, and then where everyone is, we point out where the different rooms are. We are here right now. We're right next to this window right there. So anyway, we're just trying to business card for the thing. So we're catching, it took us so long just to do some of the basics like stationery, but we're doing this. Here's a brochure about the Seth House. So we mail a bunch of this stuff out to people when they donate, and that's the first batch. But the second batch, I'll show you later, maybe we can discuss, is these cards with Seth quotes. And like, that's the thing what we're saying about getting the word out about Seth. You can't get the word out about Seth without saying what Seth said. You create your own reality. You get what you concentrate on. The point of power is now. Suffering is not good for the soul unless it teaches you how to stop suffering. Think about that one. Feel your way through that one. I remember the first time I read that. Seth gave me permission not to suffer when I was 21. You know, that you know, if you want to be a writer or a poet, you don't have to be a suffering artist. You can. It's not good for the soul unless it teaches you how to stop suffering. I mean, this is breakthrough thinking in the 60s and 70s and in 2020. In a matter of speaking, your slightest thought gives birth to worlds. That's your power. Despite all concepts to the contrary, energy, indeed, at its basis is love. There's a breakthrough. Love. And if it's not fun, stop doing it. So just these, 7 cards, if you just really absorb just these 7 quotes, you're brand new. Your life changes. And this is from Seth.
Yeah, I got a picture in my mind of your printer someplace right now bragging about being your printer.
He probably is.
Am I good? I print for the Seth House. What do you want? You know, exclusively.
Seth loves me. So, all right. You know, this is supposed to be a group discussion, and Kate and I have just been going on just effusive and bountifully bubbly about this stuff. I hope you're enjoying it, but we just really do feel this way. We just love this. And I feel like you do too. You're just not big mouths like us. Well, or maybe you are.
So
keep talking about Seth, people.
So yes. On the Facebook now, I posted the links because people couldn't find them. So I posted the link to where the articles are. Michael Schultz said, remember your beliefs about reality, create your reality.
That's
so
it.
Your beliefs about people thinking the Seth material is spooky and evil, you will meet in your present experience. We are all creating our own reality. I love the work you are doing. This is my 2nd time here. Love you guys. Love you, Michael.
Love you, Michael.
He just said, thank you, Kate. You're awesome. Thank you.
She is awesome. Oh, wait, we're both labeled Kate today. So,
yeah, we are.
So one name fits all, you know.
Yeah. Again, you know, trying to save money here. So my business used to use Zoom. So I'm just, instead of having the Seth House pay for it, we just use that account.
Yeah. So she's paying for the Zoom.
So I pay for it.
Yeah. That's good. It's like, it's just fascinating though, saying some of these Seth quotes, living them and noticing these things, like just what he said, noticing, okay, how am I, in a way, floating away energies I don't want to encounter and drawing to me energies I do, you know.
He says you are as well, Shara.
No.
Fabulous. I love it.
Yeah, this is so wonderful to talk to our friends, our family. This is our Seth family.
It is our Seth.
And there's these connections, people who resonate with this material, resonate, vibrational frequency. We're on this frequency level with Seth. It's helping us ring true. You know, it's helping us align with a certain frequency of what reality is and who we are. And we resonate together on this. And this creates an even greater resonance on this earth situation.
Now, I was so busy when you were showing stuff. Did you show this one?
I did.
So this one was, did you open it up even?
No, I didn't open it up.
Well, this one, Oshar and I did this. It was our first attempt at publishing something. We did this on my printer. Now we're professional. Oh, I love it.
It's like we're learning as we go.
We are.
I mean, you know, nobody is born knowing how to restore a house, create a 501c3, and how to love Seth, you know. Well, maybe we're born knowing how to love Seth, but this business stuff and also trying to interface with the public, Facebook or just other people who may have a different take on Seth. Everyone's going to have a completely worldview about Seth, but we can meet and talk beautifully together. And it's like, how do we do this? And it's been amazing, all the twists and turns, but it's been such an education. No matter what happens, what a gift it has been for 3 years to have been here and to have done this work and to have experienced the people we've experienced. And it just feels like the Seth energy, like this is going to be more than we can imagine. What we're doing, scrambling around trying to make each day work with
Right.
paperwork or legalities with the government, 501c3s axing.
Oh, I got to tell everybody.
Oh, you were going to say something else, but I interrupted.
Well, it doesn't matter. We were just approved. We are now tax exempt from sales tax.
That's another level of it.
That's a huge thing. I mean, I have to work with, I had to work with the IRS. I had to work with New York State. And just because we're a 501c3 doesn't mean anything to anyone else. I have to send in applications to get the next step. So, and I keep trying to save us money and, as we're growing.
So what that means is when the Seth House purchases something, like goes to Staples for stationery, the Seth House doesn't have to pay sales tax.
Correct.
Because it's tax exempt. But, following up on all these little bits of paperwork is.
But we've been approved for 2 years.
So we can receive donations.
We didn't even know to do this until a couple of months ago.
So we can receive donations and you get a tax write-off and
Yeah.
you feel all good, warm and fuzzy. But there's so many things. If we didn't have this wonderful lawyer, Aaron, oh my God, he is like right there for any question we have about legalities or responding to things that need responding to. And he's just wonderful. He's wonderful. So we're doing it all legal. I never had a lawyer before in my life, and this guy is just.
He's great.
Oh,
He's just wonderful.
my God, he's just darling. Oh my God, we just keep going on, but I'm having such fun. I hope you are too.
But it's all a part of creating something that's bigger than us.
That's it.
That was the point. We
Yeah.
didn't want to buy the house and have it be ours. We wanted a corporation to buy the house.
Well, we want it to be
tax exempt, that it was going to last forever.
Yeah, that's not about us. It's about the Seth community. That
Right.
it's everybody's house,
Yes.
everybody's clubhouse, and it needs to be an overseeing thing. Like, because it's legal and transparent, and it can be like committees and groups that make the big decisions. That's how it should be, because it's for a greater good.
Yeah.
It has to
And
be.
those people can come and help paint, scrape paint chips too. So far, it's been me and Oshara.
And a bunch of local friends
And
have
local
done.
friends that have been wonderful.
People in our groups have been doing wonderful things with painting or mailings. Or,
Moving furniture for us.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our local people are wonderful.
Yeah.
People that were actually in Jane's class that still live here in Elmira, they came, they sat in this living room and they talked and they allowed us to record them. So we have stories that we need to get edited.
We got to get these stories
Yeah.
together of people who knew them and have so much to say. They're getting up in years, and we need to preserve these stories. So we've got some recordings of some interviews, but we need to get someone who knows more about editing to help us make like maybe a documentary or something. But
Do you have them written down? Are they all written
try to
down?
record them on recording devices. Get people talking and record
They
them.
were on my phone.
Or video on the phone when people are talking. So we're trying to find these and people. So it's either audio or video recording. It's nice to
If
have.
I'm not mistaken, Zoom has the capacity to translate what is said to text.
Really?
And there's
Uh,
programs that translate to text too.
I may be confusing with another similar service.
Well,
But-
if you find out, let me know.
But and those technologies are there. And like you said, we're working as fast as we could over these last few years to make this happen. And it's got to outlive us, and it's got to have more people involved, boots on the ground, who want to just be here every day too, and just go, oh my God, I'm at the Seth House. Oh my God, people welcoming people who want to visit. So we see no limits to what this can be. And what that brings us back to is we're all creating our reality. We're using Seth ideas to help us create this one, but every single one of you has a calling a feeling of what you want to do and give in this world and your dreams. So we are acting, and sometimes stumbling as we're acting on this, on creating this reality of a Seth house. And I want to see each and every one of you creating your realities the way you want.
Michael
Big.
Schultz is an artist and he can help with digital media. Michael!
Hug!
Love you!
Hug! Big hug! Oh, we got to get in touch with you. Email us or something, or oh my God.
Well, if all you want to do is transcribe spoken text, I've got a free app on my phone that will do that.
We know we can do that. What we mean is the main thing is we are trying to find people, video, audio them, and then not necessarily write what they said down, but edit into little documentaries or something. I mean, I want to see people speaking and saying, yes, I saw Seth speak. Yes, I knew Jane. Here's what it was like. I want to hear that person talk on a video. I don't want to read it. I want to see them look into the camera.
Well, you had said book at one point. That's what I was getting around to. But if you want to do
books too. Books and all of it. No limits. Absolutely.
So what you need to do is to get a hold of Ken Burns.
Oh.
I mean, that's what he does.
That's what he does.
And he does it better than anybody.
Like him, or someone like him. Maybe this Michael guy. It might be the next Ken Burns for Seth. So yeah. So we're doing this. We're following this vision every day, and I want this for all of you. Whatever your vision is for what you want to create, what you want to bring into actualization in this reality. Seth does nothing but encourage us to do what we want to do and manifest the visions we have.
Yeah, you know, there was a woman that came here and she sat when this whole place was powder from sheep.
Oh, when we were restoring it,
Yes.
and we had to like, oh my God, so much work needed to happen. It was powder. Yeah, it was like our friend Greg was putting plaster on walls where chunks were missing from walls, and he had to smooth and plaster and take off oatmeal plaster and restore it, and you know.
But anyway, this woman came here.
There's powder everywhere.
Powder everywhere.
Powder.
There's no furniture. We've got some lawn chairs. That's
2 lawn chairs. But the lawn chairs were just right. Jane and Rob used to put lawn chairs out for guests here, you know.
So she's sitting here and she's talking to us and we're recording it. And this is something that you just can't read. But she closed her eyes and you could see her go back in time and relive as Seth was speaking, and she told us what it felt like. You can't read that in words. You have to see that, feel her expressions. It was beautiful. And she talked for 2 hours.
Yeah, we got to videotape that, and it's like she sat right there. She said, "This is where I always wanted to sit. I'd get here early so I could."
She would come with her mother.
And she sat there, and you know, you could see it in her eyes, but her eyes were closed, but you could feel it. She was like, I'd sit here, and then she'd start to point. Jane would be there, and then so and so here, and then that, and just the look on her face as she was going back in time, and she was in this room 50 years ago.
And you recorded that on video?
We have it on video.
Yeah, she let us record her, and
excellent.
Her name is Bonnie.
And stuff like that is what you want to share with people. So we have these recordings of people talking to us about their Seth experience. It was like, we want to get them edited and put on our YouTube page with permission, of course, from the people. We want to have like one of the rooms here that could be all about audios and videos, that when people come to visit, they can click a button and start seeing audios and videos of everything.
We were, Bob Terrio donated to us a whole audio video studio. We have projectors and speakers, and
it was like one big box of whatever you need to make to project a movie onto the wall. So we did that while he was here for one of the celebrations. Is that we were playing, you know, a big on the wall that was projected from this machine onto the wall, and yeah, we can do that here. So we want to have video nights.
Yeah, we want to have Seth movie night.
Yeah, too bad that
we can do Facebook Live.
We can do Facebook Live when we have. Now, right now, you know, Jane's birthday is May 7th and a year 8th. I'm sorry, a year ago. 7th, 8th, 8th.
8th.
I'm sorry. Well, let me pause for a second. Anybody out there have any comments? I think some people are trying to talk, and I'd rather hear from you if there's something you guys want to chime in and say. I can say something else more later. But so, any comments so far? Any insights or anything? No.
I think talk about Jane's birthday because we have big plans and
we
had to stop everything.
Like so much of the world, you know. So because of a year ago on May 8th, we had a huge gathering here.
Open house,
Open
first
house.
one ever.
And the first big event was to celebrate her 90th birthday. And then a month later, we celebrated Rob's 100th birthday on June 20th. And it was huge, the people we met. And Ron Card came with his art collection of the rocker and the Ouija board that met Seth on his pad with. So we wanted to have another big thing, which would be like 3.5 weeks from today. It looks like
it's not happening.
Yeah, but somehow we have to celebrate. And maybe it'll be a YouTube thing. I don't know, but something, but just the fact that we will honor her on her birthday somehow. And when this blows over, we want to have a really big
bash.
Whatever month it is, whatever day or week or time, we want to have events here that bring people from all over the world, the country, and that's what this place needs to be, is a gathering place for us, for you, for our Seth family, that we can meet here and meet each other and touch these walls and doorknobs and
Michael Schultz said,
to each
do
other.
it online.
Yeah, we got to do something online if we can't meet in real life.
Absolutely.
But when this blows over, we got to have big events so that people can come here and meet.
I can't help flashing back on a few, very few major historical events that were in a different class from anything that had ever happened before. And I think that the landing of the Apollo 11 mission on the moon was the first, where billions of people all over the world held their breath, waiting to see if Neil Armstrong was going to make it. And the next one I think of is when the Berlin Wall came down. The whole world rejoiced. And I can't help thinking that it'd be wonderful if we could somehow create an event like that, maybe not quite that grand, but in context, having that kind of impact. Because Kevin Seth deserves that. So does Jane. Rob too, for that matter. Maybe not this year or next year, but sometime.
The Seth, celebrating Seth's breakthrough information and how it is continuing to change our lives in this dimension.
Yep.
One huge, massive entity named Seth brought this information through that's changing everything in this reality. Whether you know it or not, Seth has influenced everyone, whether they know it or not.
Directly or indirectly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
well, how many people have you affected that you don't even know about? I know I have. People I don't even know about. First hand, second hand, third hand.
Well, and just the information itself that has trickled through in our society that 50 years ago wasn't common sense or things people even knew about. And now things that were way out there 50 years ago are being talked about. Like, yeah, I heard of that. Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, you create your own reality. That really did change everything. You know, and so many Seth-inspired people have gone on to write and to speak and to broadcast these ideas in their own way. And we are changing each other's lives from the seeds of Seth.
Yes.
And we are all the seeds of Seth in a way. So,
And, 50 years ago, hardly anybody would think of, when you said the word channel, they're talking about television.
Yes, you're right.
In fact, channel was not even a verb. It was strictly a noun.
Yeah.
And now you can say channeling to almost anybody and they'll have some idea what the hell you're talking about.
It's part of the conversation. I mean, even an
Yeah.
atheist will say, "Oh, I channeled that."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
You know, I'm channeling something about this here. I thought I'd share it. You know, so just the word in our vocabulary, but so many things he brought to our awareness and our vocabulary. But yeah, you're right. Just this whole phenomena of channeling. Most people didn't know what the heck you were talking about. Now everybody knows.
Yeah.
And
And most of them never read a Seth book or an Abraham book or anything like that.
but
They just know.
Yeah, the vocabulary is with us. And Seth was talking about near-death experiences long before, like Raymond Moody came out with his breakthrough book, Life After Life. But so he was talking about near-death experiences. He didn't call it that. Now everybody knows what a near-death experience is. And he was talking about, here's what happens when you die, and for like a few chapters, and that awareness of life after death, that changes everything about how we live.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Michael said, we create those events every day by being our own unique selves if we would just trust ourselves.
Seth advised that highly. Trust your
inner knowing.
Trust the.
Boy, you got to treat a story for you in the near future, Kate, when you get around to the last section of Master Events, because that's what it's about.
Okay.
And the consequences of not trusting yourself.
But yeah, trusting the inner authority, trusting the inner integrity of our very being. I mean, we were so damaged, our human history, that we couldn't even trust ourselves. God hates us. We're going to go to hell. Seth just was the antidote for so many bad ideas that was just crushing the human species. He was the antidote for some of that.
Yeah.
And to say.
In the same way that water is the antidote for dehydration, you know.
Yeah.
Food is the antidote for starvation. And Seth was the antidote.
I mean, information. And Seth said, you know, basically, your only problem is spiritual ignorance. And what we need is information. He gave us that information. Kate, you had another thing? Okay. This information. So if more people have this information, it can only heal. It can only help. This is what he's doing. He's healing us and helping us every which way. Yeah. Still better than ever. Here's my favorite picture of Seth. Well, Jane channeling Seth. There's several pictures of her while she's channeling, but this one here is my favorite because look at those beautiful eyes. I mean, he loves us. He has compassion. And
that's the thing I see in that is compassion.
Compassion and love. Just beautiful face, beautiful eyes, such depth, and he knows, like from the heart, and he just wants to help, and you can feel it.
Seems to me like that's the kind of look you would give to a small child who was frightened.
Oh, yeah.
Without, no matter what you said, if anything, just looking at him in that way, and the fear would just dissolve like a sugar cube in hot water.
just caring, compassion.
Yeah.
Nurturing. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I love that
connection that goes with it.
Feel that. Just thank you, Seth.
And Jane, and Rob.
And everybody.
And Tam Mossman,
and Willie the cat. Let's not.
Oh, Willie, gotta love Willie.
but all of us, you know, we can thank ourselves and each other for sharing this together, for acknowledging the feeling it gives us and how it inspires us every day.
One of the best things I remember about Seth was when, I think one of the cats, I think it was Willie, died and they were kind of bummed out.
Yeah. Oh,
and he was talking about how, was he the one that they found in the crawl space under the house?
No, that was the next one. It was across the street. I think there was a kitten caught in an abandoned building across the street. I think I remember.
Okay, well, anyway, we know it's the same cat. Okay, so what he said was,
it wasn't Willie. He was a kitten. I'll remember his name later. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So what really blew me away was how he described they thought that he was too young to die. And Seth said, cats have no sense of longevity. Length of their life is a non-entity to them. What they're after is the perfect moment. They're looking for they're trying to create the perfect moment. They can do it hunting, they can do it sleeping, they can do it walking across the room or getting their tummy rubbed in your lap. And I was living with a cat at that time. And I watched that cat. Every time I saw that cat, I watched it, and I swear to God, I never saw one moment when that cat was not going for perfection. Walking across the living room floor, every step she took, you could just see the way her muscles moved. She was trying to generate perfection. So longevity had nothing to do with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
The perfect moment. Like each
Yeah.
moment can be our perfect moment just by fully being here and fully expressing our grace,
Yeah.
our presence. Just being present is the perfect moment. I
Yeah.
like that, Ned. Oh.
Very, very.
Isn't that great? And you know, all in the name of a dead cat. You know, I mean, who the hell else can take a dead cat and turn it into something like that? I mean, really.
Off of anything, yeah. Oh.
I'll never forget that, though. There's so many memorable things.
Wow.
Many of them small like that, you know.
You gave.
I'll never forget that. I forget which book it was, but Seth finally said, "Fuck." Yeah, and put it in print. And he said, I know you've been wanting me to do that for a long time, so I figured this was the time, or something to that effect. He was making a joke, you know. Just because you wanted it. You feel better? That sense of humor.
So much of that came about in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you guys to sit in this room and read Seth's words out loud is an experience that is like nothing I've ever done.
Yeah, I believe it.
Sven, thank you. He says, this is so great. Sorry, I missed the beginning, but I told him to catch the replay that we did a tour of the house. And I will get it up on YouTube, I promise, by Tuesday.
Oh, you mentioned that you'd put the links to the articles on the Facebook page?
No, on the website.
No, it's
on the website, okay.
But
Oh.
no,
The reason-
don't listen to Oshara. She doesn't know what I did. They're on the comments in Facebook underneath this recording.
Okay, the reason I was asking is, did you include the links to the videos?
They are on the page.
Well, on the website, though, go to our website. Here it is.
Okay,
Is this backwards for you?
No, they can
no, it's forward.
Okay,
it's
our
only
website.
backwards.
We have the easiest website in the world,
Yeah.
thesethhouse.com.
I don't have a bookmark, I can type it in, you know.
The
The reason I was asking is I want to go to those video links and try those out on archive.org on the
So,
Wayback Machine. And if I find them, I'll post them.
Ned, it's thesethhouse.com/articles.
Okay,
And you will see all the links that they gave us are on that one page.
But-
so the woman couldn't find the articles page because it was nested so far down.
Okay,
So that link is on there now.
if you never read those articles, you haven't missed a thing. You don't need to read the articles.
But they're there.
Read
well, it's the videos that I was thinking of, because you said so many of them were
videos were.
missing.
Nice job.
We looked a little nervous while they were interviewing us.
We were nervous.
We were nervous. Our socks were shaking. So we were nervous. But there's the video in there on the articles page where we say, like, this is a Seth book.
You know, Oshara used to be in Hollywood as an extra. I am so not used to being on video at all. So I'm getting much better.
But please go to the website because there's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of information, a lot of quotes.
And we have a lot of stuff nested. Like we only have like 5 tabs, but there's a lot of stuff underneath those tabs.
That's it. You go to the tab and then a scroll thing comes down and you can tack, you can, everything we have that we think of, there's just a lot of information on there. So.
Oh, you can spend hours looking at everything.
Yeah, we've spent 3 years.
And Oshar has written the vast majority of it.
Yeah.
She's a wonderful writer. And I just try to do links and the techie stuff. And I manage the donor page, the donor wall, because I have the accounting. So that's really the only page I monkey with. Yeah, there's a lot of just good info there, just some background information for you to know and a feeling of enthusiasm about what this is, and the quotes page and the book list and the donation about us, where we thank so many of the people who've volunteered or want to, and homepage, trying to explain to people who see it for the first time. Right now, the homepage starts out with the two or three announcements, but then it's like trying to explain to newbies who is Seth and what is this project about on the homepage, that first thing. So it's always evolving. We're always combing through it and trying to change and fix typos and links and a million other things. But yeah, check out the website. We get so much we're doing on the website and Facebook and YouTube, and just trying to get Seth's word out there. And the Zoom thing now is so exciting. Newsletters. Yeah. Oh yeah, we do a newsletter every month. Get on our email list and you'll get an email from us every month, only monthly. About a month. Oh, we work so hard on that thing. You would never believe it. Oh yeah, it takes us almost a week to do one newsletter. Yeah. I don't know how people do weekly ones. No, so we do the newsletter. So we're always working on this, always wanting to inform our friends what's happening. So we love this, and we're so glad to meet with other people who love Seth too. We love this work. We have not been paid 1 penny for these 3 years of work. We have put our money into it. I've been paid back, but the 501c3 still owes you money for all you've put into it too. But what could be a better thing to do with our lives? I can't think of anything better to do with our lives every day than this, to work with the Seth stuff, to meet and talk to Seth people. Honey, this is fantastic. What a gift. It's Easter Sunday. And I am risen. And look at our family sitting here. Around the table. Yeah. With our Seth family. Yeah. Around the table. Yeah.
And the only thing that's missing is the hugs.
Oh, you and the yum.
How about an elbow hug?
And the boiled eggs. And, and that's not missing. The main thing is just coming together with other people and sharing the hearts and the feelings about something that matters so profoundly. Is this spiritual liberation and freedom and happiness and joy. Remember, yeah. It's not fun, stop doing it. If it is fun, do it more. Yeah. Just enjoy your life. How powerful and loving and wonderful you are. We all are. When we realize that, it changes everything. Thank you, Seth.
I went to the page, the articles page, and I only saw links to 2 videos, and they were both live links. They both connected.
They connect, but if you click the video, it doesn't work. So only.
Is that it?
Yeah, only one of them. And I marked on there which one, when you click the link, it actually lets you play the video. So you have to read the whole thing. All right, that one works, because there were like 3 different newspapers, so I linked to the 3 different newspapers, but only one of them had the link for video. Nervous as can be. That's the thing. I think we were so nervous about anything at first. It pulled us out of, we had to talk to people. We had to be interviewed. So we're a lot braver. We're braver now. We're braver. In the very beginning, we were just shot down by people. It was horrible. Yeah, we're trying to do something good, and we just had to get stronger. Yeah. And more loving and more centered and trusting. We're doing the right thing, even if it works. Even if people are saying weird things to us, we know we're doing the right thing. And And this is going to help people. That's part of I think one of the main human drives really is, I want to help. And yeah, there's the drive for food and water and shelter, but there's another drive for, I want to help. You know, it's like our meaning in life is, how can we help our fellow beings?
Well, that's entirely why Seth came to this room, to help us, all of us.
Yeah, he felt that so strongly from where he was. He wanted to help, that he did everything he could to come here and visit and do exactly what he did. He wanted to help. He felt, I can help you. I want to help you. I love you so much. I want you to not hurt. All that compassion, all that feeling, all that love. He came here for us. And I don't want to be talking like it's Jesus, you know what I mean, on Easter. It's like this beautiful being came here to help, and he succeeded. And we can all help each other. He inspired us for that too. So what a loving, beautiful entity Seth is. And I can't help but feeling his love for me. And
Ray Dion just said, best Easter Sunday ever.
Ow! Thank you, Ray. Oh, yeah.
Well, I just took a look on archive.org for those videos. And not only were they not there, there was no sign of the Star Gazette ever having been on the web.
Okay.
Which is one of the very few times I've ever found anything.
They're trying to suppress this information. That means we're important.
These people have one of the biggest databases on the planet. We're talking about petabytes. Their biggest challenge is buying enough storage to keep up with demand, because they've got just literally trillions of everything from videos to music to television shows to books to just everything.
Well, someday they'll catch up with Seth, I guess. Whatever. Yeah.
They've got some Seth stuff on there, but not the videos, unfortunately.
God, we would love to have like the ultimate collection of Seth videos, people lecturing about Seth. Like if YouTube channel that anyone anywhere around the world can just binge watch Seth, or binge watch people at conferences 20 years ago talking about Seth. That all of these recordings of people who knew Seth, or people who are Seth scholars who lecture about Seth, that they can all be there, that you can just sit on this YouTube channel. Right now we got like 7 videos, maybe 5.
Hey.
Yeah, but we want that to be the biggest.
A month ago we had 0.
Yeah. So we want that to be the biggest Seth library for everyone around the world. And if we can make it the potential for putting captions underneath them too, like they can choose to have a caption in Portuguese or any language, that anything that people have lectured, they can click a button and have it translated to their native language, so that there's no language barrier for people to.
And that's getting really easy.
Yeah.
It's getting really easy.
So to have some kind of a YouTube channel that is really the Seth, in one place, everything that Seth said or that people have said about, you get the idea. I never say myself, but it's like, oh, this feels so good. And again, though, we have to put out that we can't do everything. We would love to have help, and you will be our best friend for life if you can help us with some of these amazing projects that we keep getting these visions for. Like, this has to be. So someone to monitor our YouTube channel, or some of the Facebook things, or making videos out of some of these incredible interviews we've had with people. You know, there's so much good here, and it's bigger than both of us. And that's beautiful, because it's like, again, it's bringing people together. If we can have a Seth House community, that we can share some of these beautiful labors of love. Yeah. This is part of the vision. And it's all unfolding. It seems to get faster and faster and unfolding more and more. Yeah. So thank you for being part of whatever the heck this is. Whatever it is, love it. Thank you for being part of it all. Yeah, bringing your energy to this in a positive way.
Oshara, I'm gonna email you, okay?
Okay, doke.
Okay, I'm gonna email you.
Okay.
Look for my email. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for doing this, you and Kate and Ned and Gabriel and Audrey. You're all awesome.
Are you checking out, Charlie?
I'm just kind of like bopping around.
Oh, you're still dipping your toe in the water now and then.
I am.
Splashing around in the waters and stuff.
It just kind of sounded like you were getting ready to say goodbye. That's why.
With your company there. Should we start looking at rounding it up? Because it's 6:40.
It's all 20 minutes to 7.
So we've been on it for 2 hours and 40 minutes, and it always feels like we just got started.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to move in with us? No. Does anybody want to? Do you have some shares? I'd like to hear from everybody or anybody who wants to share anything about Seth or anything. Just speak to us, oh friends, if Sethiness.
I do have one story I'd like to share. It's kind of sad and funny at the same time. Right after, within a few months after I picked up Seth Speaks, I re-enrolled in college for the first time in 12 years. And besides going to school, I also taught a couple of classes, one of which was an astrology class, and which was based on Seth, believe it or not. Anyway, so I was in the cafeteria one evening after an evening class. And
one thing I already want to interrupt, it seems like in Unknown Reality, Volume 2, Seth was saying astrology isn't really...
As it's normally perceived, it isn't. But I rewrote astrology from scratch based on the Seth books. In fact, the first 25 pages of the book is drawing the connection between what Seth says and my vision of astrology. Anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm in the cafeteria and I see this young woman sitting by herself. And I went over and introduced myself and sat down with her. And I started talking to her, not about astrology, but about Seth. And she's smiling and looking really interested. And I thought, well, this is a treat. Because I was pretty much into proselytizing at the period of my life. I wanted everybody to be on board with Seth, right? And we've been talking for mostly me talking for about, I don't know, half an hour or more. And I finally, she was just getting so excited. And I said, what's getting you so excited? And she said, and it turns out she was in some kind of religious group that was one of those, the end is near types. And they had been teaching her that the end was coming and it was just like right around the corner. And it's the first sign that you could see that the world was about to end was false prophets. And I'm so lucky I'm sitting here talking to one of them. She was so excited.
Oh, that you were a false prophet.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't going to end.
The day of reckoning, the rapture was like right around the corner.
Hearing you talk positively about Seth and she's identifying you from teachings as, oh, goody, I'm meeting that first.
It took me a half an hour to figure out that she wasn't digging it, you know. She was digging it all right.
I'm so excited. I'm sitting at a table with the devil. How?
Yeah. just like I was promised.
Wow, they said I was going to meet a false prophet, and here's one now.
And here he is. And she probably went back and told all her friends, I met him today, you know.
Wow. That's a
pulled
funny
the hell out of me.
That's so funny. Everybody believes how people can believe something about you that so isn't true. But the main thing, well, maybe you are a false prophet. I'm sorry. You didn't deny it, did you?
I think I was so flabbergasted. I said, oh, look at the time. I got that root canal and that IRS audit. I got to go.
Yes, so we don't need to use other people's beliefs about us to compromise what our true soul is speaking to us.
The only thing I was really upset about is that I fell for it for so long.
Well, she wasn't revealing And she was probably really cute. I get what was happening.
Well, yeah, she was pretty cute, but I also did it with same thing with people who weren't so cute.
Yeah.
So that was just a bit part, you know.
That was a cute share, Ned, and yeah. But who knows, that same person today, and I'm totally in fantasy land now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30.
I see where you're going. I like it.
30 years later, you planted this seed in this woman who was coming from these beliefs.
Yeah.
And this was her belief, but she may be remembering that day when this cute young man named Ned sat with her and told her these things about Seth. And 30 years later, she'd left that weird end of the world cult she was in. And she says, that what that guy was saying was kind of interesting. I wonder. So you never know when we're throwing around seeds of Seth or having conversations with strangers, that maybe a year.
In some probable reality, in her life, she may have taken a fork in the road that led to fulfilling her prophecies that the world did in fact end.
Yeah, her world could have ended in some other reality that we didn't have to participate on. But some other part of her may have caught some of these ideas, because obviously she was having a moment. She was very in the present moment.
Was definitely having a moment.
Absorbing what you were saying. And who knows, maybe some of those tokens of thought she actually did take with her and go, and for years go, that's what that crazy Ned said. That's what.
Well, as a matter of fact, there was another woman who was very different.
You and the
in the same room. She was a friend of mine, and we used to get together after class, and she would come and join us because her friend was sitting there. And I went to her apartment one time, and she had stickers all over, little Post-it notes saying, "You're fat, you're ugly, everything you put in your mouth goes right at your hips." And she's trying to lose weight, right? This is her idea of how to lose weight.
Kind of of positive affirmation.
And I kept saying, "Ruth, this is not the way you do it." And every time I would try to gently nudge her in a different direction, she'd get all hostile. And finally, one day, she just got up and left and never came back. 3 years later, I'm sitting by I'd moved down to the Oregon coast and had come back to Portland for something to do with business. And I decided to go back to this lounge that I used to sing and play guitar in, just to see if there was anybody there I knew. And I hadn't been there a half hour, and guess who walks in? Ruth. And she spotted me from clear across the room, must have been 50 feet away, and her eyes lit up and her smile grew, and she came running over to me. She said, "I've been thinking about you for 3 weeks. I can't believe you're here. All the time that I knew you, I thought you were my worst enemy, and it suddenly dawned on me 3 weeks ago. You are not only my best friend, you're the only friend I really had." Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather. But so what you're saying does actually happen. That took place in the same room, possibly even the same day for all I know.
Because you gave a person new ideas.
Yeah.
And that's how, when you hear that happens, that like sometimes when people hear a new idea at first, they fight it or whatever. There's a whole list of how we can react to new ideas. But wow, and maybe one of the best things we can give each other is a new good idea. That's what changes everything.
Yeah. Many times the inner self of another people, like I imagine that in some of the examples Ned commented, produce the encounter, the meeting.
Oh yeah,
it's
for sure.
That needs that herself, in this case, needs to find somebody that can give some ideas that would help her. No? And probably in a way she was prepared to receive that information, because there are many meetings in the world and many encounters that are invisible for people. But the cases, in the examples Ned commented, apparently the inner self of the other people push them to have this kind of encounters with the Setian guy that they would give her.
And how often do we even find out what effect it had?
And,
I mean,
and you never know the effect we have on people.
Yeah,
Sometimes,
and
sometimes
for every time like that, where somebody comes up and said, you know what, it changed my life. For every time that happens, it's got to be like 50, 100 times that the same thing happens. You don't ever find out about it.
yeah, like these chance conversations you have with someone at a bus stop or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've all had many experiences where someone said something so right to us, and there's something within us that is trying to magnetize information coming to us.
Yeah.
So information comes to us either every which way that our higher self is wanting us to receive. So we all give those gifts to each other. You know,
Facebook is all about love right now. Just let me read these. Ying Chia says, everything we see is us. Virus is also a part of us, so no fear, stay well. Virus is full of love and here to help humans live the planet Earth. Love is
I love that.
Thanks, God. And then Michael chimed in, love is the basis behind everything.
True.
And yeah, love is everything.
True.
Yeah.
Hence my motto, the universe is conscious and it loves. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somewhere it's like.
Well, with social distance, sorry.
That's okay.
With social distance, the virus is a metaphor of what happened, at least in my country, between people fighting because of politics and because of sexual inclinations, because of many things. No, that kind of social distance, I think that is a metaphor that is now so expressed because of the virus. No,
it's interesting too to note that we wind up getting closer together because of distancing.
Yes.
There's an irony there that defies description.
Well said. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is changing all the petty stuff before, like Gabriel was saying, that was just occupying everything, petty. Suddenly, everybody's getting this huge reality check about how meaningful life is, and and even in our distancing, as Ned said, it is bringing us closer together.
Yeah.
In the heart of how meaningful we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I still haven't got my head completely around that part. I know it's important, but it's really hard to make total sense out of it.
I found a kind of metaphor also that this virus began in China, because Trump was trying to express to leaders of the world not to buy the 5G because China would, would infect in terms of security all over the world, and this kind of virus in China that infected all the world.
And
what Trump was trying to say about the 5G was happened finally because of the virus. No?
Yeah, and
Right, it's kind of metaphor. No, I am just.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is the crazy things that get said. Oh boy. But again, the beauty of the human spirit that goes beyond crazy news reporting or crazy politicians or crazy misconceptions about each other. Be afraid of that person. That person's an enemy. No, we're all vulnerable and physical, and we could leave in an instant, and we all will. We all get to leave this dimension. Good news, folks, we get to leave.
Yeah.
And thanks for showing up. Thanks for joining us. And then
and better news is you get to choose when, where, and how.
Yeah, when you're in the mood, So the revolving door is always spinning. You can always find a way to. But the thing is, this magical, special place that so many higher beings of love and light created so that we would have a physical experience. We all co-created this, and there were very wise beings that created every nuance of the experience we're having together. This amazing experience of consciousness that is collectively shared, and physical reality. This is all created for our growth, for our development, for our learning. How loved we are, how amazing the beings are who created this, and we co-created it, and we are continuing to co-create it. We're part of this nurturing of souls. We're being nurtured. How magical is that? This is huge. And this is
that's why I love the expression benevolent conspiracies, because you just have this, image, for me at least, of a group of entities, souls, people, whatever, who are sitting around trying to decide what the perfect way that a perfect reality they can create and share, where everybody gets to experience exactly what they want to, and that the outcome is going to be something everybody loves.
Yeah, that we experience our consciousness. We have a creative playground in which to interact with each other. And
that's good. Creative playground. I like that a lot. Yeah. God's at play.
Yes.
Yes, says Michael. Our creative playground.
In this, for example, to understand, as it says, that nobody can invade us as a virus if we do not allow it. That the virus needs our permission, because the beliefs are first and the biology are second. It's created by our inner resources, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
And as Setians, we have the challenge not to have fear, to completely believe deep down that we create our reality, that we can deal with this, just knowing really in all of ourselves, and we blink in and out thousands of times per millisecond, and in this way we can create us in the same way each moment, no?
And there's infinite realities that everyone is creating their own realities, and we don't have to choose to go down the roads they do. For some people, being involved in certain experiences is so perfect for them, but not for me. So with choosing health during these times, that's for me. And it's not a failing at all if someone is experiencing health issues. It's not a failing. It's Jane.
Our invisible beliefs that we keep deep down, and we need to go through things. For example, to be to get the virus, just to go through and to know that you could deal with that. That you will be part of the big people that have some fever, some few coughs, and that's all.
Boris Johnson's a pretty good example of that.
Yeah.
He's out of the hospital now.
Through, and is many people need that, no? They have a great fear. What would happen if I would get the virus, but I would go through all that experience, and finally I have not any problem at all, that I could go through. I could go through it, no?
Yeah,
that is another possibility also.
Exactly, and this is offering anything to anyone, either to get sick and recover and overcome something is a beautiful triumphant experience, as well as avoiding something completely, or dying. I mean, like I said, everyone's going to leave. If people want to hop on this boat as the way to go back to whatever we say, go back, but whatever it is. So, and what, and there's, Jane had her health issues, and she was encountering those for absolute purposeful soul growth as well.
Everyone has their own purposes that they're serving,
of course.
Whether you see it or they see it or not.
Exactly, and to never, sometimes people say, you create your own. Oh, how did you create that? As though it's like a judgmental put down.
Like a joke. It's like a joke.
And
Yeah,
it's
well,
like, whoever does
yeah.
that, puts someone down when you create your own, really doesn't get it. The thing is, it's like we're everything, even the challenges, even the heartache or pain, is part of what we signed up here to do. Never put someone down by saying you create your own reality. Why'd you do that? That is so immature. The true maturity of it is to say, like, I'm having this challenge. What a gift.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
living in challenging times. What a gift.
Jane died at 55, but Seth said that was her last reincarnation.
Yeah.
And apparently, at least in this probable life, she didn't need to do much more in a way. No?
That was
That-
one
yeah.
of her perfect lives.
Yes,
Jane
yes.
Roberts
And
had
was one of her probable lives. Probably in another ones, she wrote more books and she channeled more set material.
And Seth also said in one of her probable realities, she became a nun and never did any of this stuff. So
yeah.
there's thousands of Janes, and we are glimpsing just this one probable reality.
Yeah.
Because for
Yeah.
some reason, this probable Jane inspires us in just the right ways we need. Whereas all these other probabilities did manifest. I mean, she's an athlete at 91. Right now, she could still be alive at age 91, perfect health, running around the country as one of her probable selves. Just as valid as any of them, just as valid as any of all of our probable selves. Embrace and rejoice in all the probable selves. All of them are learning and overcoming and facing challenges. It's beautiful. Every single one of ours, of yours. And you just said, Kate, that somebody real special to us just said hi.
Tiana's on.
Oh, she just jumped on. We've
She
said all
just
these
jumped
nice
on.
things about her.
Yeah.
Tian, we've been saying nice things
That's
about you.
inside out.
It's inside out. Help me, honey. She, I don't need it. I'm just doing it for courtesy, you know. There she is. Tian, look, Kate's wearing your gift. Yeah. Isn't that sweet from China? Ooh. We've said lots of nice things. Yeah. Tian, you have to watch the whole video because we showed your books and we spoke of you a few times. So Tian, we love you. From America with love to China and to you and your lovely daughter. We so appreciate you and the Seth family. I love this. I might wear this after the dumb thing passes just because it was a gift.
Pull it down.
Pull it down?
There you go. No. There you go.
There we are. Keep laughing.
You know, a couple of years after I got into Seth, I read Paramahansa Yogananda's book, Autobiography of a Yogi. And in there, he talked about the death of his father's guru's guru.
Okay.
And this guy was so cool that his guru said, okay, it was his last incarnation. And his guru said, you know, there's only one thing holding you on this planet that you haven't been able to create. I'm going to give it to you. And that's a jeweled palace. So Shazam, here it is. You're free to take off now. This guy trilocated to 3 different cities in India to 3 of his favorite disciples at the same time to say goodbye. Okay. So long. Thanks for all the fish. Checks out. The thing was that he retired after 40 years as a railroad clerk. That's what impressed me. Here's this guy that's so cool. And he spent 40 years as a railroad clerk. He didn't walk on water. He didn't hold services. He didn't have $1 million. Nobody knew who he was except for a few chosen few. But he was seriously cool.
And you know what? Every single one of us is seriously cool.
Yeah.
Every single one of us is our own vast wealth of wisdom and a spigot of good ideas and an inspiration to us all. Every one of us is an inspiration for everyone, whether you know it or not. inspiring, and you're manifesting in this realm, and you're brave and you're beautiful, and thank you for being part of this vast field of consciousness that is ever growing and ever loving and ever becoming better and better. Thank you.
And we're all on collision courses with something spectacular, even though it may take a few incarnations to get there.
Whoa, every moment. Remember what that cat taught us? Every moment.
Yeah.
This
All for
moment
perfection.
is precious. This moment is perfection.
Mike-
This moment is grace.
Michael,
That'd be a great book title, What I Learned from a Dead Cat.
yeah. Michael Schultz said, and again, it's about value of fulfillment. We haven't given the gods, we choose.
And values are assumed. Not everyone has the same values. But whatever your values are, if they're really your values, that's what you got to chase after.
Well, and value fulfillment, that word fulfillment. We're fulfilling something within our very soul about to create, to fulfill a vision, creative visions to be fulfilled.
Yeah.
And just by being alive, there's fulfillment. You are, you exist, you're wonderful, you're part of something greater. And value fulfillment, yeah.
And you know, there are some people who don't do dramatic things in the fulfillment of their values, but without whom people who do dramatic things might not do those things. You know, you mentioned, meeting somebody at a bus stop, how do you know that you didn't make a difference in somebody's life sitting at the bus stop?
I'm
and
sure.
That they wound up being Elon Musk or something,
Yeah.
We don't know those things. And we have to make up an answer. I'd rather make up the answer that it's all working rather than it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, our intention is to do good in the world, and that every interaction is going to be positive every which way. And so just in the course of our day, we meet so many people, and just radiating a wonderful, true you're adding so much to I heard it called cosmic soup, that this is all cosmic soup. So I took the idea further with be a good ingredient in cosmic soup. So you are bringing your savory soul to this soup. So just taste good. That's all you need to do here. Taste good.
And you don't really have to have the recipe all written down. You can kind of make up the recipe as you go along.
Yeah. And you're always fresh.
Yeah. And you let your tongue tell you if it was a good thing to add that much cumin or whatever,
And just the ingredient you are is perfect for the mix. And just sounds of Elmira.
Somebody had a
Remember
bad
what
day.
Rob always said in the books, a blast of traffic, that the traffic going by, it's the same now as it was then. The cars were 50 years older, but
Difference is you can't hear it in the book.
same roads, same traffic. A half hour ago, we tried to say, well, maybe we should head off. And you can see how we don't want to. All of us are still here. It's like, well, maybe we should close shop now and go ahead. And then another half hour goes by. And I like that. I could have danced all night here. I still can. Are there other,
Mike just also said, or understand your values.
Yeah.
Understand what they are. And they do change.
Well, yeah, and creating our values. What do we value? We value.
Oh, yeah. I spent most of my adult life, I value bringing up my children. And, when they were grown and gone, yeah, it does create emptiness. And then my values changed to creating and to serving and to helping in other ways and reaching more people. Then that's just the two little people that I happen to create.
Just out of curiosity, Kate, of the changes in your values that went on at that time, or any other time for that matter, how many of them were wholesale changes where you swapped out one value for another, and how many of them were just simply refining the values you already had?
Oh, probably most of them were refined. The swapped out values was the belief in the religion.
What?
I was very Catholic at that point, so
Oh.
so that was a big shift. It was.
Whoa.
I had that from the time I was 6 years old. You're a sinner. You're
Yeah.
not good enough. Da, da, da. So yes, I had to get rid of a lot of baggage that I had from years gone by.
And one thing I wanted to say when you were talking about values, some things you don't know you value until it hits you in the face. Like you were healthy all your life and then you had a health crisis. Suddenly a new value.
Yeah.
I value my health and I'm working on this.
Yeah. Well, and that's what switched me. It was like I either continue on the path that I'm on and I'm going to die, or I change my beliefs about everything. I am going to value life more than ever. And I fought to live at 49 years old. And I am healthier now than I was when I was 24.
And thank you, Seth, again.
Thank you, Seth.
Yeah, really.
Thank you, Oshara. I mean, it was the two of them. Seth's words, but Oshara understood them. And she was right there with me every day.
But, building values, whether or not we call it that or not, everybody has values, what they, what they admire, what they appreciate, what they want to live for, what they're dedicating themselves for, or just valuing, just seeing the worth of something. And that there's a creative, shaping our own consciousness and creating something in the world. So he uses these words that.
But Ned's right. They were shaping of values. So I've always had the value of helping others and teaching, whether it moved from my children to I became a Girl Scout. And
Girl Scout leader, yeah.
Well, no, I was actually an instructor of Girl Scout leaders. So I helped the women be good Girl Scout leaders. So I've always been in that place of teaching and helping, and yeah, now it's moved to bigger stuff, helping people with healing and their belief system,
and healing and good humor. Something about, we both have good humor, and I think that's an essential thing to bring to this dimension, to value the ability to laugh and to help others laugh. That can be one of the best healings you can get. Be very careful how you use your humor so that it's used positively, of course.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah.
It really is.
You don't need medicine if you have laughter, I think. Yeah.
Right. Does anybody feel bad after you've had a good belly laugh? Ever? No.
I'd like to invite anybody who hasn't had a chance to talk yet or has been kind of listening, and if you've got some thoughts you want to share with us, we'd love to hear from you. If anybody who we haven't heard from has a thought.
I was thinking about how personal is the fulfillment, according itself. And I was remembering, I think that this in Seth Speaks, that Seth comment about the previous reincarnation. Probably you remember, he was, I think that was Seth's reincarnation, a woman so poor, I don't remember her name, Marshaba, something like that had a lot of kids, and the fulfillment, and he said that he grew so much in that life. Each morning when she could see that the kids were alive, for her was something so strong that changed the way she saw life and love. And
I remember that story very well, Gabriel. That was one of my favorites.
One of the later chapters is where Seth started talking about a few of his past lives. Seth wanted to make a book about all of his other reincarnational selves. That never came to us yet, but he did mention that when, there's the Pope, but that this life was so precious, just as you say. And that was a challenging experience, and you wouldn't, and as Seth is so fond of that life that knew such poverty, if somebody says, oh, you created that life, why are you doing it wrong? You're not creating your reality very well if you're a poor woman with all these kids. It's like, it's saying, no, that life taught him so much. It was so precious. Creating a reality like that added such depth to his soul, he was saying. Just as you're saying, a mother of all these children and in a time of poverty. And that somehow he thought, that was a life that stood out as more influential in a positive way for his overall self.
Yeah.
And
Well, he said it was his favorite incarnation,
I don't know if he said
as I recall.
but it was like
Well,
so important to
the
him.
perfection of every moment that Ned commented with the cat.
Oh,
I
the
think
cat, yeah.
that she could achieve feeling that sense of
Yeah,
the
I
reality.
remember the part about waking up every morning with her children still alive
Yeah.
and how
Yeah.
how that felt.
Wow. I'm getting kind of tingles about that.
Yeah, really.
Wow.
I have something I wanted to share too. It's just a couple of lines. There is no better way to clarify values than to, hang on a second, to murder your most precious possessions, be they personal or material, one at a time until there's only one left.
You're a little twisted, Ned.
A little melodramatic, perhaps.
I don't think that was from Seth.
No, that wasn't from Seth.
And I don't want to be precious to you anymore, Ned.
Not even if you're the last one standing.
Move back away from Ned again. Okay.
Step away from the.
Step away from Ned when he's trying to prove a point.
I do get a little heavy-handed in my 20s.
I'm okay. I'm only joking. Only feel safe.
So am I. But it does illustrate the point that, you know, that's one of the reasons we take things away, is to help us clarify our values.
Right, mentally.
Like health.
Yeah, to mentally, the exercise of mentally removing things from your life. Okay, I can live without this. I can live without this. What if that's not in my life? What if I don't have that? And then seeing, well, what is essential?
Yeah, exactly.
Again, it's examining your values too. How would I
Sure.
live with or without that? And that's examining your values. Does this matter to me? Does this human, how do I feel about this? I value a certain human in my life, you know. I value certain things I do. So again, evaluating our values and maybe putting more energy into what we value as opposed to maybe things that are not our best use of our time and energy. So always evaluating, you know, what do I want to do with my precious energy, my precious time? Kate, you got another fabulous?
Oh, our Mikey is private messaging me. When does book club resume?
Mikey is in our in-person Elmira every Sunday Seth group. We're doing this instead of the every Sunday Seth group for reasons you are aware.
Oh.
So he would be here every Sunday. My God, when this guy shows up, he's got his books and he's a brilliant science mind and he's so funny. And so he's like, when does book club start again? Like, come online with us. We miss Mikey. Oh, Mikey.
Candace Ho is now online.
She's a famous Facebook friend too, Candace Ho.
And Michael Schultz said, I disagree. Now, I'm not sure what he's disagreeing to, but
he's disagreeing with Ned. He's disagreeing with Ned, right?
Sure,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Ned on a murder spree. I disagree with Ned going on a murder spree again. Just apply that anywhere you want. I disagree can be applied anywhere. Okay. Or I agree. Anything else from our friends over there? No. This is working out so well to have you chime in with our Facebook friends. Yeah.
You know, there is one difference. The book you can read. This you have to participate, or at least witness.
Oh yeah, this kind of discussion. And when we did the in-person stuff, we might read a paragraph. We might read a session, or we might not even open the book. Oshara would always start with, did you have any Seth experiences this week? Well,
and they're off.
And the things to be able to discuss the things.
Oh yeah, Michael Schultz said, Ned.
He disagrees with Ned. Thank you for clarifying that.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. I am absolved. But yeah, a real live in-person Seth group in someone's living room. I hope you've all had a chance to participate in Seth groups real live in the living rooms across America or the world, that we can talk about this stuff it does come down to read the book, but then when you have other people you can share the concepts with and light up your brain about how I can apply it to this issue or that issue.
Yes. That was the most helpful, is hearing other people's take on things, what it meant to them, or how they apply it in their own life.
And then you could throw a question out there, and these wonderful Seth scholars could respond to your question and apply it to what you were trying to achieve in your life, your health or whatever. That to talk in a room full of other people who are Seth versed and can share some of these concepts is exciting. It's exciting to bounce these ideas and apply them to life.
Well, it's like Gabriel bringing up that woman with all the children, you know, and we all know what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everybody was ready to grab the book and say it's in chapter whatever, and and how meaningful that was. Yeah, that it kind of is exciting to hear, you know, like you bringing up the woman with the children, one of Seth's lives, and then we're all going, yeah, I read that, I know what that is, and that we can, it's part of the excitement of sharing this material with each other.
You know what might be fun is to make a game out of it, a quiz game. Somebody bring up a quote and see who can find it the quickest.
Yeah.
Finding Seth.
Or just like, how many know the reference? And then to just discuss it and what that means to you. And
we can pick any number of memes that show up on, I mean, there's so many Seth.
Oh, yeah. And they're good. So many of them are good. I mean,
they're wonderful. We have them posted around the house. I don't know if you saw them on the tour, but every now and then we've got, you know, we have no pictures up, but we have Seth quotes up.
Yeah, and we want to get more, we want to just plaster the walls with Seth quotes. You know, either short sentences or big paragraphs, just so that when people go through the Seth house, there's quotes on the walls at every turn, you know, that you can just stand there and read a quote in the Seth house and just.
We don't need no stinking wallpaper.
Right. Now,
nothing against wallpaper. There's
no.
Now, Ned, I have to read to you. This is for you, Michael Schultz. Your look at the world is yours. This is for Ned.
I'm sorry, Mike, if you thought that was my look at the world, because it was just a tongue-in-cheek expression of the logical extreme of value refinement.
And all of our.
And if you take it literally, you're missing the whole point.
I just read them. I'm not making them up.
I know.
And sometimes things can be lost in translation.
Well, and right, because it's a lag in time. There is a big lag in time.
And the good humor, the camaraderie, because we're all in this together.
Absolutely.
We're so all in this together for refining our thinking, refining our attitudes and our beliefs. And a good-hearted cajoling about, so how's that belief working out for you?
And you know, go to the Facebook discussion group. There has been some amazing discussions going on.
You know, and I'm so glad. There is one thing we actually wanted to mention it. There's this guy named Ian French, and he's a real award-winning poet, public speaking poet, and he's amazing. And he's a Seth reader, and he comments on some of the pages, and I really invited him to please comment on our Facebook page.
I've been engaging in some dialogues with him, and he is brilliant.
Oh my God, I love this man. So I invited him to please comment on the Seth discussion group at the Seth House is the name of our Facebook page. And there was something he tried to post on another site. He kind of got shot down, so he removed it. And I saw the post where he said, well, I removed it because da-da-da-da-da. And I wrote to him and I said, I didn't get to read what you posted on ours. We want to see this.
Oh, yeah?
And that's the comment he posted yesterday, I think.
Which comment?
It's the one about COVID-19.
Yeah.
And his political ideas about it, and he covers so much, and he writes. It was like that long. The statement he wrote, and the comments he's getting are that long, and it's stirring up some wonderful, intelligent conversation. And this is the kind of stuff we want to have happen on our Facebook page.
I think that was my introduction to him, And I was part of that long commentary. Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a little snafu in it where it posted twice, so I cut and pasted what you said and other people onto the other one, so we just have one stream
Oh,
going on there.
sort of a combining, yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted it to all be on one stream, and it's like,
You know, I wasn't sure if that really happened. Thank you for saying that, because I thought I saw two, and then there was only one, and
yeah,
I thought, am I crazy?
I wrote to him, and he said, "Oops, he accidentally made two. He didn't mean to," and then I repaired it so that it is just one. You know, his
Yeah,
statement, and then
yeah.
all the conversation of the conversation keeps getting richer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what we're seeing on some of these posts on our Facebook site is even something that was posted a couple of months ago, it keeps getting richer. People are adding to all these different conversations about Seth, society, personal awakening, or whatever. And people are able to ask any Seth question, like, what does this mean? And then a dozen people jump in to help explain. So there's a Seth tutorial, there's a Seth free-for-all. So please do jump into our Facebook, the Seth House. No, what is it again? Seth Discussion Group at the Seth House. It's a long one, but it's explaining everything. It's a Seth Discussion Group
At the Seth House.
At the Seth House, and that's the name of our Facebook page. But I'm just so excited to look and to just see these rich, deep conversations with real Seth heads about real life things.
And people are helping each other. They're
That's it.
using it that way. It's not like there's a supreme being that's giving all the answers and nobody else can say anything. No, we want everybody to talk.
And
We want everybody to share their thoughts, their emotions, their feelings, their quotes. I ask all new people, I'm like, share your best quotes with us. And why? Why is it your favorite quote?
Yeah.
So
The other really cool thing about it is the people who are doing all that sharing are loving it.
Yes.
I personally am just really grateful to have the opportunity to share anything like that. Like, you know, make my day. Ask me a question I can answer, you know?
Yes.
Or just comment on.
Yeah. And there's funny stuff. People put funny stuff there, and serious stuff, and sad stuff. But I love to watch the interactions. Like people who never knew each other are having a rich conversation.
Yeah.
And it's just like we said, you never know when you put something out there, is it affecting someone? So you can put a comment on there that 1,000 people are going to read. Maybe 5 people say they like it, but everyone is getting something out of it.
And you'll never know.
You'll never know.
No, sometimes people will tell me, you know, I'm watching very closely, but they aren't going to be vocal, and that's okay. So I do know those people are out there.
Yeah, they're reading it. They might not even say they like something, you know, with the click of the button, you know, on Facebook, but people are reading it, and it's Seth, people. Of course it's going to be good and enrich people. And that the fact that we can come together and talk about it in a safe place where we're safe, where we're safe and friendly and supportive of each other. I feel like, and it's kind of a free-for-all. It's not severely structured, you know, it's a free-for-all. Just talk, people, talk amongst yourselves, you know, and we're listening, and we just feel so good about how this is.
I had something kind of weird happen the other day. I posted something and I got more shares than I got comments, and I got more comments than I did responses or reactions.
Oh, so
and
it's sharing these things,
yeah, and it was like I had like 3 or 4 shares in the first 20 minutes, and it doubled within a few hours.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's never happened before. I mean, I get shares from time to time, but I've never gotten more shares than anything else.
Right.
And that quickly.
And I still have no idea why.
It's amazing sometimes. I throw something out there and won't get a single thing, but then throw something else out there, and I swear in one day 151 likes and comments down to the elbow. And see the site. Check it out. These are a lot of people contributing their energy and their thoughtfulness and their heart and their care to this site. And I'm just it's breathtaking to see people sharing with each other this freely and this fun.
Yes, Michael wants to talk to Ned some more. He said,
"Oh, you two are getting."
I know.
Okay.
Michael was saying, "Don't do logic, Ned. Your perception invited me to respond. I learning that we are all ... one.
Oh. Oh, big hug.
And these notes stay with the Facebook.
I don't think I got that.
Oh, well, bottom line is that we're all one and
Yeah.
that we're informing each other. So he wanted to be sure that you knew he didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the way I took it. I just didn't get what you were
He
saying,
wanted to
Kate.
know it was all,
We're all one.
it's a love fest. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a love fest. We're
Well,
all,
yeah, hey, if it wasn't like that, what would we be doing here, you know?
yeah.
So good. Dolan is on.
Dolan,
Dolan,
better late than never.
I know. It is 7:29.
Hi, how are you?
Dolan just jumped on the screen or,
Yeah.
oh, Dolan,
Yeah.
what's your excuse? Check in and say hi, Dolan.
Oh, I just wanted to say hi.
Hi.
Say it again. Say some more.
Hi.
Say something different.
We've been waiting for you. We waited all this time. We've been waiting 3.5 hours just for you to show up, Dolan.
Oh, geez, that's nice of you. Thank you. What I've been doing in the last couple of days, I opened the website and I published the codicils. Yeah, so it'll be a website dedicated to the codicils, and then I don't know, I might just put other stuff around pertaining to that. We'll see.
Dolan,
That's my story.
a whole website about codicils was something Jane spoke about in some of her personal books, and Seth did too, but you're making a whole website for that?
Yeah, it's a small website. It's only a few paragraphs.
You gotta
But-
send us that link, because that sounds pretty interesting. So send the link so that we get that if you have a chance.
Yeah. Okay. Here, I'll just click on chat here. Chat. And I'll find my website. It's not done yet. It's all crooked and everything, but it's a start anyway.
We got one of those too, yeah.
Well, yours is excellent. You did a swell job.
Boy, thank you. Thank you. We're working on it all the time.
Don't worry too much, Dolan. The taste police have not been seen looking at your site yet, so if it's not perfect.
I just found it. It'll give us an idea. Come on, so many buttons here.
It's amazing what people can put out there to support the Seth stuff. Just like you said, a website about the codicils. Who knows who that's going to be touching? That was something we were talking about. You know, we put out our good energy. We may not know how this really touches so many people. The little things we do, the little interactions we have with others, how the good we're doing. So pat on the back, Dolan,
Yeah,
for
well-
putting something out there.
It's a start.
Yeah, good for you.
Because everything it's like Seth says, it's not only the present that we change, but we change the future and we change the past.
Yes.
So I figured, well, this might help. Because you probably all read the trilogy of Oversoul 7.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't finish it either.
Didn't finish.
Uh-oh.
I got a lot of reading to do.
I'm
You
usually
are
bad
right.
for that. But yeah, that's in the third one, I believe. I read that like 30 years ago or 25 years ago. And if I remember, it was in the third one, Museum of Time. And the codicils are not only mentioned, but it's like the main turning point in the story. And it happened that it was written anyway. If you have to read the book, and you'll see it makes a lot of sense. So I see a parallel in our real lives.
So we'll take a look at that.
I just posted it to the Facebook messages, so everybody can just click on it from there. It is actually called Psychic Politics Codicils.yolasite, YOLASITE.com.
Say that,
Yeah.
Dolan, too. Say that again.
Yeah, she's right. So Psychic Politics Codicils .yolasite. Yolasite, that's just it's a free website service, so I didn't have to pay anything. .com.
Okay, got it.
Dolan, would you like to move that to spaciouspresent.com?
I can if you want.
Tech Talk.
Well,
Yes.
if you want to,
Sure.
and it won't cost you anything.
Spaciouspresent.com.
We're
In
having
fact, I can even give you a subdomain like codicils or something.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. If you can do that, because I don't know how to transfer stuff from one website to
It
another.
sounds like it's all on one page.
Yeah. Me, so far it's on one page, but I want to elaborate.
Well, then all you have to do is just email me the page and I can post it.
Oh, it's
Okay.
on Facebook.
Sorry.
It's on Facebook, and it looks really nice. I like it.
Oh, okay. Thanks. The lettering is the sizes I
Are
have to
there,
play with that.
are there any graphics on it?
No.
Okay, so it's just all in one file, one
It's all text. It
HTML file.
looks really good.
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
codicils.
Well, all you have to do is just bundle that thing up and email it to me, and or you can. Why don't you just message me on Facebook?
Okay.
And all you have to do is copy and paste it.
Yeah.
Okay. Copy and paste what the text or the
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Okay. Eventually there'll be more pages, but I'm just starting.
Well,
with
I'll tell you
now.
what. I'll tell you what you should do is to go in your browser, well, with that on the screen, and choose from the context menu, save as.
Okay.
And you can save the whole thing as a file and then send that file to me. But you know,
okay.
Let's not take time here. Just go ahead and private mail me and or private message me and Facebook, and we can work it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Beautiful.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves,
Absolutely.
but thank you for bringing us to an awearness of your efforts to get Seth out there too. Rock on, brother. Seth's brother, Seth's sisters. It's all beautiful.
We're all in this together.
You bet. It's getting better all the time. And,
Yeah.
And Dylan, I don't know when you jumped in, but we were saying what wonderful conversations we have on our Facebook page, Seth Discussion Group at the Seth House, and you've made some wonderful, wonderful contributions to our Facebook page, and we really appreciate all of your thoughts you've been contributing there as well. So thank you. I'm glad we can, you know.
The pleasure is mine. Finally, somebody's listening to me.
Wow,
I hear that.
And all of you who have shared, and that's what it is, to get the Seth conversation happening. And Dolan, you've contributed so much, Ned. All of you, I can name each one of you, but keep it happening. The Seth conversation. We're enriching our own lives and each other every time we try.
Yes. It's like an awakening in my life since you opened up that website, that page.
Really?
I'm starting to read everybody's comments and stuff. Oh yeah, I know the answer of that, and then it's like a snowball effect. It's
wow, beautiful.
Yeah. It's like three-dimensional dominoes.
Wow, three-dimensional dominoes.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you love to see that represented graphically in an animation? Wow, I would pay money to see that.
But yeah, you're right, Dolan, though, that as an answer springs up from us to the other person, just like the person on Facebook said, we're all one.
Yeah.
So it's like the oneness is having a great conversation with itself. What about? Here's the answer. What about? Here's the answer. That we can give that to each other.
Well, sure, that's the only game in town. That's the only game there's ever been. It's all that is conversing with itself, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this. You know, hi, how are you? I'm fine. How are you?
It's about the size of it.
Yeah, we're all a droplet of all that is. Each one of us is a piece of all that is, and exploring and discovering ourselves anew with each new environment and each new conversation. It's so exciting. When we realize it, it's so exciting.
Yeah.
The so-called game gets so much more beautiful when we realize it's not a game. It's such an important activity to be engaged in, is to have this ongoing conversation about how meaningful and beautiful life is, and how free we are to choose, and how we can create ourselves anew at every moment. And this is the conversation of all that is, with all of its parts that we're all engaged in. And it's so much fun when we realize the beauty of our own awakening and our own growth and our own potential. And we can do so much of that with our big mouths. Just keep talking, Seth. You're typing it. Type Seth. Anyone remember that gesture? You're typing and come on, we all remember carriage
You
return.
left out the ding.
Carriage return.
Ding.
I
saw a lot of
remember my
people
mother when
nodding.
she used to type
Yeah. Carriage return. Ding.
with the bell. Ding.
Did you ever, when you were first learning computer, accidentally do this on the computer? I'll just leave it at that. I'm not revealing anything. I'm just saying early days of learning the computer, and you go like this, and you go like, it's a new world. So,
And I'm older than you.
yeah, well, I had all kinds of mean typewriters.
Oh, yeah, I always had.
Okay. Oh. I really. Wait a minute, electric typewriters, you had to do that too. Okay. If you
No,
said,
not electric.
really.
Electric, when you hit carriage return, it automatically did a line fade.
You know, remember, as we're having this discussion, we are changing the past.
Well,
So.
Oh,
Yes.
excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interfere with that.
We're not doing. So let's be careful
Well,
with what the technology.
Michael has just said on Facebook, it hadn't occurred to them that the future or the past hadn't occurred then. Time is simultaneous. And he said that before this conversation.
Sign. It's a sign. Ding, ding.
Oh, Shara. Oh, Shara.
Charlie.
It took me a second to realize what you're doing because I only caught it out of the corner of my eye. And then finally in time, I realized what you're
Typewriter,
doing.
yeah.
Typewriter. Then I had another thought. By the way, I think you're brilliant and funny. And I another thought that I thought of then about with that typewriter thing is I was trying to think I was like, Smith and Wesson? No. Smith Corona. Do you remember Smith?
Oh yeah.
Those words?
Oh yeah.
Well, and
Typewriter?
Remington was.
Where have I heard the word Corona?
Yeah,
before? Wait,
right.
Remington
Remington.
was a typewriter and a rifle.
connection, synchronicity. I can't hear you. Sorry.
Oh, just Remington was a typewriter and a rifle. Smith Corona, Smith and Wesson, typewriter and rifle. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Charlie.
I'm done. You know what? I think this is going to be the first time. Am I allowed to just say something that has nothing to do with anything else? Can I just say something? Am I going to feel like I'm interrupting an important thing?
Take it away, Charlie.
Okay. All I'm trying to do right now is entertain you. That's all. I'm trying to amuse you. That's all I'm doing. And I think it's the first time I'm going to say it out loud. I thought it up a while back. And you might not think it's that spectacular, but I'm going to say it anyways in hopes that somebody gets some enjoyment or amusement out of it. I'm thinking, this is a guy that has a lot of time on his hands to think, okay? I'm retired. I got a lot of time on my hands. You understand? Every day is freaking Saturday or Sunday. Okay. So huge adjustment. I'm thinking okay, Seth, everything has consciousness. Right? Seth says everything, everything has consciousness, this Chromebook, the wall, atoms, quartz.
Everything is alive. Everything's alive. Yes, amen.
Frogs and leaves and flowers and trees and rocks and everything has consciousness. Now, all right, okay. All right, Seth, good, okay. This food, it's called couscous. You know what I mean? Couscous, you ever hear? You've heard of couscous?
Yes.
Yeah.
You maybe even have eaten couscous or made it or whatever you do with it. I'm all right. So then couscous has consciousness too, right?
Yes.
And I'm looking at those words. Couscous, consciousness. And I'm all right, there's something there. I could work with that and come up with something that would amuse my simple mind, in terms of because look at the two words, consciousness, the spelling of the two words, consciousness, couscous, couscousness. Does couscous have two consciousnesses? I'm actually I'm thinking this as I'm saying this. I'm trying to, I'm scrambling now for something more to say about it. But it's like, okay, if you cut a couscous in half, let's say you take a couscous, and maybe for all I know, couscous does not exist in nature, like in single couscous. Like, oxygen, the oxygen molecule? The oxygen molecule does not exist in nature. I don't think so as O just by itself. It exists as O2. Unless you're up in the ozone, then it's O3. But around here, I'm pretty sure that oxygen, from my chemistry class from like a long time ago, so maybe couscous is kind of similar. Now then, if you have couscous and you have this like consciousness, if you take one couscous particle, cut it in half, now you have maybe like a couscous in each hand. Now do you have like a couscous consciousness in each hand? Okay, now I'm really struggling here. Okay, I think I'm feeling like the hook. I'm my own hook. I ran out of stuff, but I'm like, I'm a word guy. I mean, I think a lot of people are word guys and gals, but I like the idea. Somewhere in there, it makes me happy to think about couscous, consciousness, because of the spelling, right? The spelling of the word consciousness. How's that?
And it's an interesting word, couscous. And is one just a couscous, or it takes two couscous to make a couscous, and it's just a...
How many couscous?
I'm with you on this. I'm following.
How many couscous could a couscous if a couscous could couscous? All right, that was spur of the moment. That was spontaneous.
You got to watch that one. It could get away from you.
Thank you. I'm done. Kirk out. Thank you for Oshara and Kate, thank you for doing this. All you other people that are staying here, this is like a Grateful Dead concert or something. I can't believe you're still doing this.
Well, Seth is dead, and I'm pretty grateful, so I guess maybe we are.
Oh, that was bad.
Without Jerry Garcia, of course. But he's dead now, so.
This is like a Grateful Dead. Wow, dude. Yeah, we're just hanging out here and like, wow, feeling the vibes. Yes, we're aiming towards like nearly 4 hours, I think.
I know. And
Mercy.
People are still hanging out with us. And I just can't even believe it.
Whoa.
One boring Easter.
No, it's one, like the one guy said, though, this is the best Easter he ever had. And
excellent.
With our extended family.
Yes, or real family, maybe.
Yeah.
Spiritual family is the real family. Biology.
We can choose our brothers and sisters here.
Yeah.
You know what's on TV right now?
No.
Jesus Christ Superstar Live with Sarah Bareilles. I mean, it was live when they did it a couple months ago or whenever that was. Now it's a replay, but it's the one with Sarah Bareilles, John Legend featured as the big guy, and like whoever else. But I'm like, Jesus Christ Superstar. All right. Wow. Here's an idea. What if we use our collective creative energy powers and write a musical? We'll write a musical and we'll call it Seth Superstar.
Seth Star.
Sessie baby, superstar. Who are you? What are you thinking of? I forget the words.
You create.
Problem is that
Seth
Jesus Christ had 2,000 years of advanced promotion.
Lots of PRs. Yeah.
And we're kind of starting from scratch here.
We have a low PR budget at it.
We have no fun.
Our Seth cult is really, I was at a group in Minnesota. They have a Seth group in Minnesota that's really going very strong. But I remember somebody in the group, I've only visited a few times there. It's been lovely every time. They brought up that issue. Someone said, oh, gee, they called us a cult. And they're trying to make a discussion how, well, no, we're not a cult. We like to read the Seth book. And one of the guys, I think it was Al Winquist, he says, in what way are we not a cult? Ever since then, I've been so proud to say, yes, we're a cult. That's the definition of the word cult. A small group. Just don't use it in a bad way. Use it in a good way.
And Oshara,
Spiritual group.
Oshara, didn't Christianity start out as a cult? I mean, don't all?
Oh yeah.
But wait, let's define the word again. The word cult is like, it isn't saying an exact number of members. The only difference between a cult and a religion is the size of your membership. But actually, Christianity is a cult. Islam is a cult. Judaism is a cult. Buddhism is a cult.
Oshara.
Would you like to hear?
Oshara.
Would you like to hear what Wiktionary has to say about it? Wiktionary defines cult as a group or sect of people with a deviant religious, philosophical, or cultural identity, often existing on the margins of society or exploitative toward its members. And by that definition, I put in a sect.
No, that's different now too. It depends on what dictionary. Now, deviant doesn't have to be a bad word. To deviate.
No, but
I
think it's intended as kind of a bad word here.
Yeah. But and that last thing that's on the
and exploitative makes sure you understand.
Yeah,
it's not cool.
They threw that in, then we can't use that definition of for because no. Seth is the ultimate liberator. He's like, you're all individual.
Well, there are other definitions. The veneration and religious rites given to a deity, especially in an historical polytheistic context. Another one is a religion that evolved out of another religion, but has become a different religion through developing a radically different theology.
It's like a spin-off.
The last one, and the last one is a group of people having an obsession with or intense admiration for a particular activity, idea, person, or thing. That is fairly close.
I like
it was
that.
also
Obsessive, I'm not sure. I guess, I don't know, are you obsessive?
I don't know. Dolan put this one out there. It said a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object.
Yeah, that's pretty harmless.